Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, January 26th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the NFC Championship game, the Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles for a trip to the Super Bowl. Let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the action. Let's get it, baby. And on the thumb, on the left, one of the best rookies that we've ever seen in Jayden Daniels. And on the right, the OG Jalen Hurts. What will happen in the matchup today? Will Jayden Daniels step up and make enough big throws to lead his team to the Super Bowl? Will we get a good combination out of Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler on the ground? Terry McLaurin and Diami Brown, will they step up and make the plays needed? Or will it be the former Philadelphia Eagles, so bad it hurts, Zach Ertz, to lead the way? Dan Quinn has done a fantastic job since Daniel Snyder was forced to sell the team, and it shows you if you have the right coach and the right quarterback, everything can work. And on the flip side, in Philadelphia, you have home field advantage. You don't need to throw for 300 yards. When they throw for less than 250 yards, the Eagles win 90% of their games, it feels like. And when they end up throwing it too much, typically that would mean that the game on the ground with this guy right here, Saquon Barkley, would mean it's not working. They split in the regular season. The Commanders winning the last matchup, both winning on opposing teams' turf. But again, offensive line, defense, coaching, play calling. And when you got a guy that is the best running back in the NFL with Derrick Henry, even more consistent than King Henry, this could be the difference here today. And if Washington is going to win, you have to minimize the damage out of Saquon Barkley. He can't go for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, if he goes for like 80 and 1, maybe you'll have a chance. But if he goes for more than 1 or over 100 yards, it's definitely going to be much more difficult to win. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, all of these guys can make the plays. And really, the defense is going to be key. Jalen Carter, Cooper DeJean, who will make the big plays? We'll find out. Nick Sirianni, I see you. Let's go, baby. Odin Sun with a $5 dono to get us started. I appreciate you very, very much. We'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack bang bang. We're at 5. Appreciate you to get it started. And good luck with your Chiefs later today. And this will be a long day. We're going to go 7 hours straight. I will end this stream when this game ends, so that way I can upload the other thumbnail and the proper text for the other stream, which will be right after this one. It's going to be a long, long day. I know Paisley's probably not looking too forward to it, but I was up early, couldn't really sleep that well. I was up around 4 or 5 in the morning, itching to be able to call these games and see what happens. And I hope everyone is excited as I am. STL in the building. Let's go, baby. And, and again, Jayden Daniels, even if he didn't get this far, it's a good story. And it's nice to be able to see that we have a Lamar Jackson in the NFC. And, we'll see how it goes. If Jayden Daniels at one point will get an MVP or 2 under his resume. But it is possible before his career is over, Jayden Daniels could end up being just like Lamar and maybe even better than Lamar. And just to think about that for a second, to say that out loud, that definitely means that we know that he's a top 10 quarterback, but he's playing right now like a top 5 quarterback. You could argue top 3. So you never know what could happen. They were winning games on the last possession for the last 2 months. Will the luck continue or will it run out? Will he be the first rookie quarterback to go to the Super Bowl? A lot of questions need to be answered, but definitely excited about this one here today. Sarah getting the meal in. Sounds good. Getting settled in. Let's go, baby. Anything specific that you want to be able to see? And I got, obviously the AFC Championship there. We got your Chiefs spinning logo. I got spinning logos of everything here. And then obviously we already know we're going to be getting into this one here in a couple hours. Andy Reid, Harrison Butker, Trent McDuffie, Chris Jones, always bringing the heat, Travis Kelce, and you already know Patrick the Clone Mahomes. But again, we don't want to forget about other guys as well, like the wide receivers, like D-Hop and Xavier Worthy. And then I got to make sure we get a Pacheco in there too before the game starts. But let me know what you want to do photo-wise if there's anything, and I got you. Appreciate you very, very much. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see all of them since I had to take Paisley on a walk, but that bare knuckle, boxing or, kind of UFC style, the bare knuckle, man, that is something else, let me tell you. Commandos, Eagles, give you the spinning Redskin logo. We got the spinning Eagle logo, and then obviously for later, the spinning Buffalo logo and the spinning Chief logo. I'm ready, man. We got regular standard logos as well with no spinning. I am ready to go. NFC Championship game. Philly favored by 6. And I think last time that I saw the Buffalo, it was like 2.5. So we'll see if that ends up changing as we get closer into game time. But if you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Sarah will help out with some of the mod duties, keeping track of the likes in the chat as well as the donos. And again, it's cool to be able to see teams like Washington, relevant. I don't like seeing teams struggle and being bad forever. I mean, it's one thing if it's like the Cowboys, they've kind of, self-inflicted wounds, by having Jerry Jones. I don't really have a lot of sympathy for them for being kind of the team that has had the longest drought in the NFC to make an NFC Championship game. That's on Jerry. But for every other team in the NFL, I feel for them, because I was there at one point. Yeah, I ended up having a strong team, with Tony Dungy and Monty Kiffin, made an NFC Championship game in 99, lost to the Rams, the greatest show on turf with Kurt Warner and Isaac Bruce, and we remember Torrey Holt and Marshall Faulk, right? And I was getting close, but when you have Sean King at quarterback, you kind of know you're probably not going to be able to get it done. But then fast forward a couple years, Brad Johnson, John Gruden, bringing in Simeon Rice and Michael Pittman Jr., Keyshawn Johnson, Keenan McCardell, Tony Dilger, and getting the right pieces there, Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice, Derek Brooks, John Lynch, Rondé Barber, and obviously I'm wearing the throwback Derek Brooks because on this day, 22 years ago, I was able to celebrate one of the happiest days of my life. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl for the very first time. Let's go, baby. Oh, wow. Holy moly. And here we go. Commanders with the ball first, with the first opportunity to see what they can do. Oh, and they fumbled the bag there in the end zone. And I got the Eagles and I got Chiefs. So, again, we did a preview and predictions. And do I actually think the Commanders and Bills have a shot? Yes. This is the first time, probably in about 10 or 15 years, that I actually believe that the opposing two teams that are underdogs have a legitimate shot to upset the home team that has the home field advantage. I think the most shocking thing would be Commanders-Bills. Both teams winning on the road. I don't know if anyone sees that coming. But again, based on how the Commanders and Bills have played lately, it's possible. And I can't wait to see how this plays out. First down and 10. Shotgun set for Jaden Daniels. Steps up in the pocket. Uh-oh. 12 noon, time it is time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. They might have given him a gain of a yard or something of that nature there. But again, that's going to be the story because if you look at Washington's opponents, previously with like Tampa and with Detroit, not a whole lot of pass rush. Philadelphia, brings that pass rush, and the two teams that have the best defenses are the Eagles and the Chiefs, and they have home field. So O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling. Again, I know everyone is rooting for Washington to get it done unless you're an Eagle fan. So bad it hurt Zach Ertz with the catch on 2nd down and 9. 3rd down. And again, I know everyone is rooting for the upsets. Unless you're an Eagle or Chief fan, a majority of the country is rooting for the underdog, the good story of Jaden Daniels and the Commanders of being shitty for 30 years, and now they're great. And as well as Buffalo Bills, rooting for Josh Allen to finally get past Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. But again, it's a good story, but we'll see if they can actually execute the plan. Trips left on 3rd down and 6, shotgun set. Daniels, throw is low. Scary Terry with the catch. 1st down, Washington. Jaden Daniels, he's special. Top 5 quarterback, and he might be top 5 moving forward for the rest of his career. Scary Terry, I see you. Shotgun set on 1st down and 10. Daniels, check down and batted down by the Eagles. Great job. Yeah, and exactly. If he was drafted number 1 overall, we wouldn't be talking about Jaden Daniels today the same type of way. Same thing if Bo Nix would have went to the Bears, same thing. So it's kind of a blessing, that those guys ended up going to better situations. Not saying that the Bears situation is terrible. Again, they got Ben Johnson, the OC for the Lions, but I don't know if that's going to work out with Caleb, but I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Shotgun set, 2nd down and 10. Daniels got plenty of time, check down. And a good tackle by the Eagles in the secondary there. Burks and company, I see you. I agree with you. He is. Oh, man. Be safe out there, my guy. Don't get burnt out. Okay. 3rd down and 6. At the Washington 45. Daniels, pump fake, Zacchaeus. Wow, good effort there. 1st down, Washington. Move the chains. And I think the thing is with Jaden Daniels that it reminds me of like Lamar also. He makes everyone around him better. Like guys like Zacchaeus, Diami Brown. We wouldn't even know these names unless it was for Jaden Daniels. If it was other quarterbacks, they probably would be going very heavy with Scary Terry, Robinson. So it's kind of nice to be able to have this brand new quarterback shine some light on some players that, other than Scary Terry, obviously Zach Ertz, well known with the Eagles, but Scary Terry, being kind of that OG veteran. But Eckler coming in from the Chargers, Robinson doing his thing, and it's just nice to be able to see these group of guys rally around and see what Jaden Daniels really can do. And just imagine if they end up getting another wide receiver or a tight end that's a little younger and more athletic than Ertz, like how far this team could go. Tight end should be a factor in this game at some point or another. Shotgun set. Daniels. Zach Ertz, a little ahead of him, incomplete. 3rd down and 5 at the Philly 43. And I'm going to send the photo to Sarah on the Twitter/X, and then I'll grab it from there for your bare knuckle boxing photo. That's an incredible photo. Shotgun set on 3rd down and 5. Good pressure by the Eagles. A hold on the Commander line. I don't see a flag. Going long, going deep. He's got a man. Incomplete. Cooper DeJean, he is the man. Great defense there. Eckler, the intended running back. You already know what it is. Cooper. The perfect Philadelphia Eagle, just like Quinyon Mitchell. Again, some teams know how to draft. Others do not. Philadelphia and Howie Roseman. I might not be a big Sirianni guy myself, but I do love the ownership and the front office. And again, we'll see what happens here now on 4th down and 5. It looks like they're going to be very aggressive, taking over Dan Quinn, right? Just like Dan Campbell, the two Dans, he's rubbing off onto the Commanders a little bit, and you're in kind of no man's land, so you got to go for it. 4th down. And the way that Jaden Daniels has been playing, yes, go for it. Why not? He's a weapon with his arm and his legs. Now, you have to be calculated when you're going to be going for it based off field position, but that was the perfect call, right? Again, you punt, it might end up being a touchback if you make it go a little bit too far in the end zone, right? Wasted opportunity. If you go for a field goal, too far out. So I like what I see there so far out of Dan Quinn and the Commandos. Shotgun set on 1st down and 10, little screen pass. And again, remember, both of the times that they played, the Eagles and the Commanders, they split in the regular season, each winning at the other's house. So again, this should be a very close game when it's all said and done. 7 points or less, more than likely. Could end up being as close as 1, 2, or 3. But it kind of feels like a 3 to 7 point, 3 to 8 point victory would be very plausible. 2nd down and 5. Minimal gain there by Brian Robinson Jr. Trips left. Man in motion, shotgun set, screen pass, and took his eyes off the football, saw that man coming. He saw ghosts, incomplete, 4th down and 2. And let's see if they go for the field goal here or if they go for it again. I mean, if you're going to beat the Eagles, you are going to have to be aggressive, but you also have to be smart and calculated. So if this is me, and this particular team, I would go for it. If you have an offense that's been rolling like the Lions typically, or the Commandos with Jaden Daniels, this is probably one of only maybe 2 teams in the NFL where I would say, nope, let's fuck the field goal. Let's try to score a touchdown, because if you get field goals on Philly on the road, you're not going to win. Daniels, 4th down and 2. Run! There you go. 1st down. Commandos. That's what you do. The ultimate weapon with his arm and his legs. He's just like a Lamar Jackson. And again, if it's 98% of the other quarterbacks, I say just take the points, take the 3. But this offense has been nearly kind of unstoppable in the last month, 2 months. So again, you're going to have to take chances. You're already rolling the dice that you're even here, playing in this game, in the NFC Championship game, in Dan Quinn and Jaden Daniels' rookie year. Fuck it. Just keep going. I like the aggressiveness. A lot of times I'm practical, and I want to be about stats and analytics, and you never want to leave points on the board. But again, when you have a special quarterback like a Jaden Daniels or like a Lamar, where you know that you can more than likely, get a 1st down compared to other quarterbacks based off the, RPO or the play calls, again, but you can't do it on every 4th down, because eventually it's going to come back to bite them. But so far, very aggressive start, and they know they need touchdowns, not field goals. Especially with that Eagle defense, much better than Washington's, but Washington's has been better as of late, like Buffalo's. Shotgun set on 2nd down and 9. And that hit the ground. Incomplete. That's tough. Yeah. Well, also, too, the longer you stay in college, the better that you're going to be. And there's no surprise that Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, and Jaden Daniels more than likely are going to be the 3 best. But with that being said, you still got J.J. McCarthy, Caleb Williams, and Drake May, who should be at least average and maybe above average at some point, whether it's with their current team or their future team. So I feel like this quarterback draft class from last year is going to be one of the best of all time, because, you might end up getting 6 guys that start for their teams for a while, possibly. We'll see. Shotgun set on 3rd down and 9. There you go. Short of the marker there, Eckler. 4th down and 3. And then they decide, hey, let's go for the field goal now. Let's not trust our luck. And that's probably the right decision. You can only be so aggressive for so many times. Kick is up. And good. 3-0 Commanders. Good start for them. Again, and the Eagles have a great defense. The Chiefs have a great defense. Washington's defense, as the Bills' defense, at times was suspect. But again, they've been playing much better as a unit in the last month and a half, 2 months, than I think people realize. All right, let's see if we can get that first photo up. And I honestly think if they would have kept going for it, I think they would have gotten a touchdown on that drive. That would have been, that 1 or 2 teams that maybe you say fuck it and just keep going. Because then if you end up turning the ball over, right, you might end up having him on like the 2, and it's essentially like a great punt, and you might be able to force a safety, a fumble, or a pick. So, but again, I like the decision. 3-0, Washington. What was the best fight in the bare knuckle boxing yesterday? Oh my, look at that. They are tough. Wow. Can't wait to be able to do this one next too. Going to be a long day, but I'm ready. Yeah, great drive. I mean, again, but yeah, I don't know if anyone is really that shocked. I mean, Buffalo has been playing great. Washington's playing great. And it feels like, the Eagles and Chiefs have been kind of, sputtering, at times on offense. But again, it's okay to sputter a little bit, especially if you have a good controlled running game and your defense is great. It's like you don't need Jalen Hurts to throw for 300 yards to win. You don't need Patrick Mahomes to throw for 300 yards to win. Essentially, if both guys throw for 250 or less, they probably have a better chance of winning because the offense will be a little bit more balanced. So I'm doing good, man. Like I said, I woke up super early, posted at, 5, 6 in the morning, something like that. 5 in the morning, I was already up watching X-Files and, True Blood and what else was I watching? Walking Dead. I've been starting shows from like the very beginning. So I'm like, 4 or 5 seasons in on each show. Probably going to start Blacklist from season 1, episode 1, probably tonight as well. But yeah, I'm doing good. Took up Paisley for an early walk during sunrise at 7 a.m. Cold as shit. And then I did another walk just about an hour ago to make sure Paisley has that time with me. And again, we're going to grind it out doing these 2 games. And after I'm done around 7 p.m., then we'll do another walk. And I'll have to have some type of celebratory celebration at the end. What are you playing that on? Are you playing that like on a next gen system, or is that like PC? Eagles with the ball. Nice cutback. There we go, Philly. Shipley for 35 yards. That was awesome. Yeah, the rivalry is great. I think the only thing that would make everything in my mind, perfect, is if they went back to the Washington Redskins. I really like the logo. I really like, it's not like, Washington football team. They're not doing that anymore. And I don't think the Commanders is like terrible, but Redskins, I feel that would be amazing if we could go back to that. Like Cowboys, Redskins, Eagles, Redskins, Giants, Redskins. It just has a different feel to it. It would make them a little bit more, going back to their roots and whatnot, but who knows if that'll ever happen. Oh my, look at this. Saquon, he says, spin move. Are you kidding me? The 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown. This man is the greatest running back that's ever lived. Touchdown, Saquon Barkley. Woo! Oh my. Just when he had the touchdown of his career, extra point is up and good, right? In the snow game. Then he ends up doing it on the first touch of the game. This guy is on another level. They definitely will be drug testing him after the game, 100%, even though I don't think he's on steroids or PEDs. But look at the blocking scheme, the misdirection. The offensive line is so superb and supreme. Look at his agility, his vision, spin move, hit him with a spin cycle, whirlpool, wash him close twice, rumbling and a bumbling. I've seen, Walter Payton. I've seen Barry Sanders. I've seen Emmitt Smith. I didn't get a chance to grow up and see, Gale Sayers and some of the other old, OGs from back in the day. But let me tell you what, King Henry is an elite running back, but Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the NFL this season. I don't even know what to say. I mean, obviously the Giants, never really had the quarterback or the offensive line or the coach or the defense, to really get the most out of him. And even with that being said, we would see Saquon be able to do Saquon things from time to time on the Giants. But this Saquon, with better coaching and a great offensive line, you are starting to see like something like Barry Sanders type of level shit. And again, the Commanders is a great story, right? This is a great story right here. Maybe one day they'll go to the Redskins. Maybe that's what they need. But in this NFC Championship game, this guy is amazing. I feel he'll be a top 5 quarterback, for years to come, adding, with Lamar and Burrow and Josh Allen and Mahomes. But let me tell you, this run that Saquon Barkley has had in 2024, 2025 has been something that even myself, being a fan of football since 3 years old, watching it since 1985, this guy's season that he's having and these games that he's having in the biggest moments, if anyone deserves it, it's fucking him. Way to bring that electricity, way to bring that grit, way to bring that vision. Saquon Barkley, you are on another level. You can get the NFL MVP over a quarterback. You can get Offensive Player of the Year. And again, they usually give the quarterback the MVP. Saquon has been playing on such a level where you literally could give him both awards, and I don't think anyone would really bitch and complain besides guys like Josh Allen or Lamar thinking that they deserve an award. Unbelievable. Holy cow. Wow. That was awesome. I don't even know what to fucking say after that. That was incredible. And you could kind of tell that it was going to happen. I don't think we thought it was going to be first, carry to the house, but it kind of felt like, hey, there's a good possibility for him to be able to, get 150 yards today. And even if the defense was good, like if we get Eagles Chiefs, like in my prediction, Saquon is still good enough to be able to run for similar amount of yards, even against a stingy Chief defense. But the same thing could go with like Pacheco. Pacheco could end up, doing some big things on that Eagle defense as well. But unbelievable. 7-3 Philly. And again, if it ends up being Eagles Chiefs, right, this guy's job is pretty much going to be saved, not only by Saquon Barkley, but having guys like Jalen Carter and Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Holy cow. Holy cow. And the more that you can take it out of Jalen Hurts' hands to fuck up, and all he has to do is be a game manager. And remember back in the day, there was a lot of pressure, for him to be able to, pan out and, throw for multiple touchdown passes. You got to throw for 300 yards. You got to be able to, throw for 2, 3, 4 touchdowns. You can only have 1 pick or less. You might have to get one on the ground, tush push. But now, Jalen is at a point after being in the league for a few years. It's like, you don't have to do as much to win. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes. You don't need him to go for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns to win. They both could literally go for 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 250 yards passing, and that would be good enough to win. So, incredible. Unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. That was awesome. Let's go. Hold on one sec here. They're down in 1. I had to bounce around through a couple screens here. Give me a sec. Okay, sorry about that. Always got to make sure I got backups and everything else going here. First down and 10. I don't know if I can trust this one. Can I trust you? All right, give me one sec here. First down and 10 at the Washington 39. 3rd down and 1. Oh, big fumble. Big fumble. And again, you can't have fumbles or interceptions if you want to be able to beat the Eagles. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Reed Blankenship is always around the football. Always, always, always. Wow. Wow. Bouncing screens around here. I always got to make sure I keep everything steady. Big, big turnover for the Eagles. 7-3 Philly. I think it might have been a mistake here for me wearing so many layers in here. That Saquon run got me all fucking hot in here now. I got a fan on in here. Probably should have just wore the jersey, not a hoodie over it, but might have to have a wardrobe change at halftime. We'll see. Come on, baby. Wow, that Saquon run. Wow, that's going to go down in the books. Come on, baby. First down and 10, shotgun set. Hurts. Short right to Goddard for 10 yards. First down, Eagles. Can I just get something steady where I don't have to have any issues with buffering or anything else? Now, I can't rely on this one. I'm going to have to switch it to this one. Give me a sec here. Got to go with the backup. Nice job by Goddard there. Shotgun set. Hurts. First down and 10. Floater. Devontae Smith. Toe drag swag. Ooh, my. Unbelievable. They get the snap off. Kenneth Gainwell, minimal gain. Saquon, 4 yards, touchdown, Eagles. Man, is this one over already? Is this over already? 13-3 Philadelphia. Oh, my. Again, I know the Commanders was going to be a thing that a lot of people were kind of hoping for, but again, you don't bet against teams that are at home, in the NFC, AFC championship game. It's always possible that those road teams play well, but home field advantage is a real thing. Should give Saquon Offensive Player of the Year and NFL MVP. I mean, he's had such an impact. And again, if the Eagles can actually beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, the Commanders, if they were to win this game, they wouldn't. So again, it's going to be a tough matchup if Kansas City wins. It's not going to be easy for them to win the Super Bowl, and it might be Philadelphia's year. If you don't stop Saquon, you're not going to win the Super Bowl. Touchdown, Eagles. Yeah, well, you already know what it is. The Eagles are the better team. It's O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling. Saquon Barkley is arguably the best player in the NFL right now. That's not, Lamar or Josh Allen in MVP talks. Again, he's just playing on a whole another level. Not just Pro Bowl level, all pro level. He's playing like a Barry Sanders type of, level. And again, if you can play like that, Eagles are not going to make a lot of mistakes, just like the Chiefs. And again, they are mirrored, very similar to each other. And again, that Super Bowl could definitely go either way if we end up getting Eagles and Chiefs, like my prediction. Again, I'm not going to be right 100% of the time, but I feel like with my predictions and with my ESP, I'm going to be right about 90% of the time. There's going to be times where, something crazy happens and history ends up, being broken, but other than that random crazy moment, I feel that I'm pretty locked in, based off injury report, home and away, flow of the game, team's history and clutch moments. And again, the Commander story is great, but again, if they would have got past the Eagles, they weren't going to win the Super Bowl. You're always going to end up overachieving, and then at some point you match up with someone that's just fucking better than you, and you get slapped in the mouth, and now you're down 14-3. And it's not like the Commanders can't go on a drive and get a touchdown and make it 14-10, but that's why it's so important on that first drive that maybe they should have went for it and got that touchdown instead of taking the 3. You already went for it on a couple fourth downs previously and got it, right? Because you're not going to win this game with field goals. You have to match touchdowns because you already know, with Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, right, Devontae Smith, as well as Jalen Hurts, one of those guys is going to get at least one, right, on the ground or through the air, right? And then you've got Saquon is going to get you 1, 2, 3 touchdowns. He's just on another level. 14-3 Philadelphia. Awesome, man. And plus, the Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl or Eagles-Bills Super Bowl would be better. More people would be interested. I mean, of course, the Jaden Daniels thing is cool, but again, if you don't have a defense, you're going to get absolutely fucking rocked at some point or another. And again, the Commanders and the Bills defense at times has shown up, but they're not on the same level as the Chiefs and the Eagles. And again, if you end up having self-inflicted wounds and you end up having mistakes on top of not having, the greatest offensive line or defense or play calling, then you get yourself dug in a hole like this, 14-3 early. We're at 5:95 to go. And even Saquon is doing things that even Barry Sanders really wasn't doing, because we didn't really get a chance to see Barry in the playoffs. Now, obviously, if Barry Sanders was on the Cowboys with that offensive line, he might have gone down as the greatest running back that ever lived. no debate whatsoever, even though a lot of us still think that Barry Sanders might be the best running back of all time. But again, you go Jim Brown and Gale Sayers and Walter Payton, and you go through a lot of the older, backs that maybe we didn't really get a chance to see too much of. And then obviously, if you're around my age, like Sarah and Odin, we got a chance to see Emmett and Barry, and we got to see that type of running back, or Bo Jackson, even though it was short-lived. But the Saquon Barkley year that we're seeing is really something magical. Like single-handedly could, win them a Super Bowl, even though we know it's an ultimate team game. Unbelievable. Shows you when you have a top 5 running back that can stay healthy, that's got a great offensive line, and again, they don't even have Kelsey. Can you imagine if Kelsey was still there? Saquon would have definitely ran for more than 2,000. Facts. What's good, Hybrid? Shotgun set. Robinson, short game. A big reason why Philly can win the Super Bowl this year. Not only get there, but actually win it. They're more well-rounded, on the defense, in the secondary, and obviously they filled that hole, as well as getting a quality running back, and not just a quality running back, the best running back in the league. But you got, good quarterback, great elite running back, right? You got great wide receivers, great tight end, great offensive line, great defense. I mean, really, Philly has no weaknesses. I mean, linebacking core could be a little bit better, even though we've seen Vaughn and a few others step up. But as far as a unit, Daniels on third down, going deep, almost intercepted. Oh, my. And there's the punt unit. And now if the Eagles score another touchdown, good night. Winning in Kansas City and winning in Philly are really, really difficult in the playoffs, let alone, this deep in the playoffs. That's why if Washington wants to get to the Super Bowl, down the road, or if Buffalo doesn't win today, they're going to have to be a number 1 seed and have home field advantage go through them. That's when it, will probably happen, unless we end up getting the Josh Allen game today. But I feel Josh will play good today, but I don't know if it'll be enough to win in Kansas City. Oh, we got a fake. Wide open. First down, Washington. Wow, great time to call a fake, especially when you're down 14-3. That felt a little like Dan Campbell there. And Diami Brown has been a name that, we didn't really know a whole lot about him, as well as some of the others that have been able to make plays like that on special teams. Wow. All right, now you got to get a touchdown now. All right, little bootleg play action. Daniels scrambling, gambling. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. All right, I'm back on my original one here. First down and 10. Robinson, minimal gain, and that is the end of the first quarter. 14-3 Eagles. Very fast first quarter. And if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, this is going exactly what you wanted, at this point. At home, 2 touchdowns. You only gave up 3. Again, this Philadelphia Eagle team, again, I'm not going to get every prediction right, but again, I'm not going to bet against a team like Philadelphia, against a team that is brand new to this type of situation. And again, Kansas City and Buffalo, that situation's a little different. They've been both neck and neck. And, Buffalo is going to make it to a Super Bowl with Josh Allen, but they just might have to wait another year after this year to do it. 14-3, Philly. And we haven't even really talked about Jalen Hurts. Again, it's kind of crazy how he had to be a top 5, just slinger, of the football. Now he can just be a game manager and win games, just like Patrick Mahomes. And that's what happens when the team around you gets better. All right, Jaden Daniels, you got to, again, field goals are not going to cut it, and your defense isn't very good to stop Philadelphia on the ground or through the air. So every single player that has got you to this point, you got to be even more craftier with your play calling. And again, you got to get Scary Terry and Diami Brown the ball more. Obviously go with Zach Ertz if he's open. You got a plethora of weapons, Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler, you could use obviously in the passing game, or as a change of pace back. Scary Terry leading the way, Diami Brown, Zach Ertz. They have some weapons, but again, they dug themselves into a little bit of a hole here, and it's very difficult to win on the road. Now, the Commanders did win the last matchup on the road, but it doesn't feel like the same type of game that we saw back then where both defenses played like shit. Phillies isn't going to play like shit today, and neither is his Kansas City's. I feel sometimes, backs, are waiting for that late hole to emerge and open up, or they feel that they can, do a spin move or hurdle or stiff arm, or they can just truck a guy, and then they can go that route. Obviously guys, on the O-line and the D-line at times can be just as fast as a running back or a receiver or tight end within the first 5 yards. So, you can get big boys that weigh over 300 that can keep up with someone that weighs 195, 200 for a few steps, but sometimes with that cutback, there's just not enough time for it to develop, but everything goes bang, bang, very quick. Floater, corner of the end zone, incomplete. Diami Brown is the intended receiver. Not everyone has got the athleticism to do the cutbacks too. Shotgun set. The pocket is collapsing because that offensive line isn't good. And complete. Field goal unit is up. Kick is up. And good. Field goals are not going to win this game like we mentioned, but, it helps. Right now, you're only down by 8, but, again, you're going to need to be able to get into the end zone. 14-6, Eagles. 14:42 left. 14-6 Philly. Zini in the building. What's good? Appreciate you. You guys are looking great. And again, even with no Kelsey on the offensive line is still one of the best in the NFL. Saquon is playing out of his mind. Give him the NFL MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. Give him any fucking award that they want to give him. And again, this Philly team seems different than from a couple years ago when they ended up losing, in the Super Bowl. This one, it feels like, if this were the year, if it ends up being Eagles-Chiefs, that was my prediction, that this team could beat the Chiefs. In years past, it was like, oh, the Chiefs are so good. We've only seen Tampa Bay do it. But again, the Eagles defense, getting Quinyon Mitchell, getting Cooper DeJean, and now obviously getting Saquon Barkley, pretty amazing stuff. I know you are thrilled and you are excited. Go Birds. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. You guys are doing awesome. Thank you so much for your love and your support. It's going to be a long day. I know Paisley's probably not going to be too thrilled with me working for 7 hours straight, but, having people like you come through and show love makes it all worth it. So thank you so much. Shotgun set, Hurts. And like I mentioned, when Jalen Hurts throws for 250 yards or less, they win like 90% of their games. He doesn't need to be throwing for 40 or 50 attempts. He doesn't need to be throwing for 300 yards. With Saquon Barkley, if he throws for 200 to 250, that can be enough to win the game. Jalen Hurts can be like literally the best game manager on planet Earth, like Patrick Mahomes. They don't need to win you the game. They just have to have you not lose the game. Appreciate you, Zini Panini. My Panini. Zini. Shotgun set. Hurts. But again, the Eagles really don't have any weaknesses. And again, when you see teams that don't have weaknesses, again, the Commander story is great, with Jaden Daniels. But I think a lot of people that picked the Commanders and Bills, are just doing it based on the hate towards the Eagles and Chiefs, not realizing that, if you were going to bet money on it, it's one thing to root for a team. But if you were going to bet money on it, would you still be betting your own hard-earned money, on the Commanders and Bills? I don't think a lot of people would, Hurts, floater, incomplete. Yep. And again, you guys match up with Kansas City very evenly. You guys both have good offenses. Eagles offense probably a little bit better than the Chiefs, just by a little. But they're both very capable. And then obviously defense is both elite. Offensive line for Philly much better than Kansas City's. And again, you got defensive line. You got Chris Jones on the other side, but Jalen Carter and company. It's going to be very interesting to see if we end up getting this Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl that I predicted. Even if it ends up being Eagles-Bills, that'll be a hell of a Super Bowl too. Chiefs fans are going to be upset because they won't have a chance at three-peat, but we'll see how that plays out. But really, Vic Fangio and Saquon Barkley are the two biggest pieces to take this team to the next level. And then obviously, the emergence of Jalen Carter, Cooper DeJean, Sirianni. I see you. What do you want to do for photos? I got plenty of Eagle photos. You want some Brian Dawkins? I'm not sure if you're here for the rest of the stream or if you have to leave. But let me know if there's anybody Philly you want. And I got. Second down and 15, shotgun set, Hurts, pressure off the edge, little check down. Little minimal gain there for Philly. Special team, this could be the year, especially with the best running back in the league. Could be the difference on winning the Super Bowl or losing the Super Bowl. Shotgun set on third down and 7. Check down. There you go. Goddard breaking the tackle, baby. First down, Eagles. All right, Jalen, I see you. Dallas Goedert, the tight ends are going to be used. Yes, I will. Slick Nick Foles. Shotgun set. Hurts. Handoff. Gainwell. Minimal gain. Shotgun set for Hurts on 2nd down and 9. Gainwell again, leaping in the air. Might be able to have another memory like this, Zini. It's possible. I mean, player for player, the Eagles got the best team out of the 4 teams left. It's just a matter of can they go all the way. Little tush push. First down. Eagles. Move the chains. Oh, baby. It kind of reminds me, you know, like the very first year of the channel when I started it, you know, I was one of the only people that said the Eagles were going to win and they were going to win big. And people laughed at me, you know, because I was, you know, new to, you know, the scene and everything. But a lot of the original OG Eagle fans, you know, they knew that, you know, I have no allegiance to Philadelphia in any way. It's just what I really thought was going to happen. And they ended up winning, you know, by, you know, that, you know, 9, 10 points, you know, 8, 9, 10 points. It kind of felt like it was going to be like that, and it was. They had to play a perfect game, and they did. I mean, I didn't predict Philly. They had to play a clean game, and they did it. Hurts throws it out of bounds and complete. Plus, Eagles, Chiefs, Eagles, Bills, better Super Bowl than the Commanders. Until they get a better offensive line and defense, you know, so they actually have a chance to win. You know, we don't want to blow out in the Super Bowl, you know, where, like, let's say the Commanders win this game and they go against the Chiefs or the Bills and they lose by like 20 or 30. We don't want that. We want to have a close Super Bowl if possible. I mean, we don't necessarily have to have it be like overtime win by 3, like the Chiefs, you know, against the Niners and whatnot, but I want a close one if we can get, you know, like 3 points, you know, is going to decide the victor if possible. Timeout, Philly. Appreciate you, Zini. But maybe that's why Odin wanted the Commanders to win, because if the Commanders win, the Chiefs win or the Bills win, automatic. You know, but again, if you end up having to play the Eagles, there is a fear that you could lose the Super Bowl. It's not going to, you know, but again, if you're a Chief fan, you want to play the best. If you want to be the best, you have to beat the best, right? So again, you know, if you're going to be able to be, you know, the king of the mountain and three-peat, it's not going to be easy. You know, we want to make sure it's, you know, again, championships are championships. But again, as fans, you know, we want to be able to see the best of the best beat the best of the best. Hurts. Big sack lunch at 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a commando sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. And that's one of the first times that we've seen that O-line break down with less than 9 minutes to go. Good calculated blitz. And if that was Jason Kelce, that doesn't happen. Jake Elliott. Elliott. Kick is up and no good. That's tough. That sack lunch, prevented points. I mean, obviously, field goals aren't going to cut it, but I guess if you're Washington, you feel at least a little bit better about that missed field goal. Yeah. I was going to say, I looked at the injury report. All right. How has everything been for you with your, work and at home? How is everything? How are your mentals? How have things been for you lately? I haven't talked to you in a minute. Hopefully things are going pretty good. I mean, obviously, watching the Eagles do Eagles things has got to be pretty fucking exciting, because it feels like this team is better than the last Super Bowl team by quite a bit. Rookies. It's just like in fantasy, right? It's like, you got to have the right blend of veterans and rookies to be able to step in and make a difference. And, having guys like this and guys that have only been in the league a couple years, you need a nice blend of old and a little bit of youth. And even Jalen now is kind of getting up there in age, but you still got capable pieces like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, but then you add the best running back to already a top 5 offense, and you add the best running back in the league, and you got scary pieces, coming in as rookies. Pretty exciting. And we already knew that Jalen Carter would be good, but obviously a great fit in Philly. Little edgy, but again, Philly is born off being a little edgy. That's just who they are. Slick Nick Foles, he likes it. Okay. Bringing in Vic Fangio, though, might have saved this guy's job. I mean, obviously bringing in Saquon, he already knew he had some stability and whatnot. But obviously there was a little bit of rumblings on, is Sirianni the guy or not? But again, if you have O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling, you can still even win a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. Great story for Philly. I mean, weapons on weapons on weapons. And, again, it kind of reminds me of, the Buccaneers, when we ended up having our little run. It's like, when you have so many good players and such good chemistry, it's just about, it's pretty much, the team versus themselves rather than the team versus the opponent. As long as you don't shoot yourself in the foot, you should be able to, make some magic happen. So. Daniels on 1st down and 10. He's got all day and all night. Now, if the Commanders want to get into this game, based on how Philly's defense is playing him, he's going to have to be used as a weapon with his legs. Now, they're typically going to have a spy. They'll have Vaughn and others locked in on him, but you're going to have to use him as a dual threat. Otherwise, this one is going to get out of hand at some point. Yeah, true. 100%. Some teams are more locked in as a team than others, and it definitely shows. Bates with the catch. 1st down, Washington. Robinson up the middle. Second down and 3. Trips right. Screen pass. Eagles already sniffed that out. And again, it was so easy, for Washington. And I feel people got on the Washington bandwagon, but they failed to realize they played teams that really didn't have as much defense. Oh, my God. Big touchdown. Scary Terry. 14-12, Washington. But again, you went against the Bucs and the Lions. Those two defenses have been not really the greatest. And he was able to take advantage. But if you can get touchdowns on Philly, that really says something, and they got one right there. Now we have a game. Shotgun set on that 3rd down and 3. Look at that pass. Broken tackle, bad angle by the Eagles. Good speed, blockers downfield. Touchdown, Washington. And again, that shows you that is a very rare missed tackle, bad angle concept for Philly. They are a little bit out of position in a bad tackling angle. And again, Scary Terry has been the one that has elevated his game the most by acquiring not only a great quarterback, but also a combo of great quarterback and coach. You've seen Diami Brown make some big plays, but Scary Terry, he's trying to show that, hey, I'm just as good as A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. And this year, he definitely is showing that he's the real deal Holyfield. Wow. There we go. Finally, we have a game. If this is me right now, I go for 1. I don't go for 2 right now. But again, Washington is already being very overly aggressive. But again, I wouldn't go for it because I don't think they're going to get it. We'll see what happens here. Daniels? Nope. Stupid play. Stupid. Right there. You should have just took the 1. If you're going to be going for it for 2-point conversions, you do that, as close to the 4th quarter as you can. Don't just take the 1, take the 1, take the 1. And then when you get maybe with 2 minutes left in the 3rd, then from that point on, go for 2. But I don't like people going for 2 in the 1st and 2nd quarter. Just especially if the defenses have been playing very well up to that point. And that might end up costing them. Especially if Philly ends up winning this game by 1, 2, or 3, you're going to go back and think, damn, the Eagles had that missed field goal, and we've seen field goals by Washington, but again, chasing points can be a fucking disaster. All right, Eagles, your turn. We're at 25, 75 to go. Let's go. Now we're going to throw up me and Zini's favorite Eagle of all time. Not even close in my book. I mean, I still got guys that I love, Reggie White and, obviously, Cunningham. And there's been many, but me obviously being a defensive-minded fan, and, it doesn't get any fucking better than this. A true 1 of 1. And Reggie White was great for the Eagles and for the Packers, but for this guy, I mean, he is the definition of safety. You had Ed Reed, you had Troy Polamalu, you had John Lynch, you had Steve Atwater, you had Ronnie Lott. But Weapon X, man, he was a different breed. Like if I was an Eagle fan, my closet would be full of every Brian Dawkins jersey, white, green, black. That's probably where I would start off. Love safeties. I'm a big safety guy. I'm a big linebacker guy. Those are probably my 2 favorite positions, just based off intensity and not only that, with intelligence. I try to keep, up with everyone, and, you just have to listen, right? You just have to keep up with everyone's favorites and whatnot. Shows that you care. Oh, yeah. I mean, and the biggest surprise, let's get a photo of him up. He's been amazing. He went from being a special teams player, and then turning himself into a legit player here for the Eagles. But I mean, sometimes you're just on the wrong team. You know, you're on the Saints. You're not used properly. They don't believe in you, right? And the Saints aren't really a destination where people want to go anymore. You know, and I think Saints fans are starting to realize that even, you know, former coaches don't even want anything to do with them anymore. So no longer Sean Payton and Drew Brees. But again, you know, someone else's trash is someone else's treasure. And I love the story about Zach Bond. He's great. I mean, he'll be one of the reasons if they end up winning the Super Bowl, it'll be because of him. He'll be one of the pieces. Yeah, and Vic Fangio has been great wherever he's been. If you look at his track record on everywhere that he's been successful. You know, his schemes are, you know, kind of like a Monty Kiffin. You know, they're in their own realm and they're a master of their own craft. And same thing with like Jim Johnson. You know, Eagles have always had good defensive coordinators. Same thing with the Buccaneers. You know, something that we've had in common. We've usually had those good pieces to line up the defenses a particular way. Second down and 2. Barkley for a yard. Third down and 1. But I don't even think Eagle fans were going to even anticipate the you know, type of, you know, again, when Saquon is healthy, you know, he's a top 5 back. But the real question is can he stay healthy? And when he was on the Giants, he really couldn't. But obviously here, this could be, you know, that defining piece. I mean, there's many pieces. It's a team collective unit effort for sure. You know, the offensive line, defensive line, coaching, play calling, number 1 running back, great receivers and tight ends and quarterback. I mean, where is the weakness on this team? They just don't have one. I mean, even with the Chiefs, you know, they have a couple weaknesses like their offensive line. Eagles have none. So we'll see how it all plays out. 14-12 Eagles. But at least Washington scored to make it like exciting where the game's not over yet, you know, where it's still close. But I won't be surprised if the Eagles pull away in the second half at some point. It might take into the fourth quarter, but as long as they don't have any self-inflicted wounds, they should be fine. Hurts, play action fake. Plenty of time. Get rid of it, Jalen. There you go. Go down. Now, if that was Mahomes right there, then that might have been a flag called. Jalen doesn't get that call. But hopefully we don't see any, you know, calls that shouldn't be called. I mean, we assume we're going to get some at some point, but hopefully the refs can make it as clean as possible in both of these games. Obviously, protecting the quarterback is, you know, going to be something that, you know, all the refs do, but we just want it to be done fairly. Man in motion. Saquon. God, he's an athlete. First down, Eagles. Move the chains. It's fun to watch. Saquon Barkley. Absolutely. Just like in fantasy, you know, sometimes you got to get some rookies in there as well. And it can't just be all veterans. You got to have a nice collective, you know, sprinkle in a couple rookies, a couple vets. You have to have the right, you know, kind of combo to make it all work, and they do. Jalen with the keeper off the RPO and slides down. Smart move. Don't try to get popped there by Bobby Wagner. Yeah, but also good teams find a way to win. Bad teams let you know, their talent go, and he never would have did anything in New York, even if he would have stayed there his whole career. They don't have a track record of being able to turn shit around. I mean, if you're going to give Daniel Jones money, then obviously it shows you how stupid the organization is, you know, and he may not be on the team anymore, but that should have been very clear after like a year or two that Jones was not it. But again, you know, the Giants really aren't that smart of an organization. They don't got Eli or Michael, they don't got Strahan or Eli there to bail them out like they did in years past, or coaches like Tom Coughlin. It's not the same type of, giant team that was respectable, or even going further back with Lawrence Taylor and Phil Simms. This is not, the same type of Giants type of team, that's for sure. I mean, hell, even on that social media viral video, the Giants GM and coaching staff were in the room, and he asked the son, "Who should we pick?" He said, "Jaden Daniels." So even the sons are smarter than the people that are in the building. But again, Jaden Daniels on the Giants wouldn't have turned out to this. Or if Jaden Daniels went number 1 overall to the Bears, we wouldn't be talking about him today. Floater, Saquon, incomplete. We got the 2-minute warning. Good first half. I mean, it looked like for a second there after that Saquon run, you're like, oh my, that maybe this was going to get out of hand. If Philly got, like, if they didn't miss that field goal, it was kind of, the momentum was kind of getting to a point where, oh man, this one might be 17-6, not looking too good, but then they got the scary Terry play to go through. Jalen to A.J. Brown, ridiculous. And again, I went through the stats. They win 90% of the time, it seems like, when they throw for 250 or less. So he doesn't have to be the hero. The hero can be right here in the offensive line and the defense. This guy doesn't have the same role anymore to win games, and neither does Patrick Mahomes. These guys can just be kind of the, elite game managers. It's a kind of a crazy thing to say about Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, but they have such good talent around them. They really don't need to force it. They just need to not fuck up and fumble or throw an interception or a pick six. Facts. 14-12, Eagles. Nice job, Jalen. Nice job, AJ. Yes. $2 holla. Irvin in the building. What's good? Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. $2 holla. If there's a particular athlete that you want to be able to see based off your dono, let me know. And that is something that, me and him don't talk anymore. And I can tell you're not a regular here on this channel because he hasn't been a part of this channel for like 4 or 5 years. So, he hasn't done a video in like 3 months. So, that'll be something that you have to try to ask him. But I have no answer for that here because he is no longer a part of this channel. So, but I do appreciate your support. $2 holla. We're at 27. 73 to go to hit the goal. Let's get it, baby. But I highly doubt that there will be any video out because, if you haven't done a video and, since like week 2 or week 3 or week 4, you're probably not going to be doing anything until next season, I would assume for his sake. Hurts, hands off. Saquon. No problem, man. You can always check on his channel to see if there's anything that gets updated, but Again, hasn't done a video in like 3 months, so I don't think you're going to be getting one. Maybe next year. That's why, with like YouTube and with streaming, again, it's everyone wants to be a streamer, but again, not everyone wants to put in the hard work, to be successful and to make it. And again, it's all about consistency. And if, you're only going to be streaming or uploading whenever you want, you're never going to be able to get to the point that you want, at that point. So again, it's one of those things. Some people, it's a hobby, but for other people like myself, this is my legacy. This is my full-time job. This is everything to me. So I think you kind of tell, the importance of, streaming. You can tell by how often that they're doing it and if they care about it or not, or the fans or not. 2nd down and 8. Hurts. Over his head, incomplete. It looked like he was draped on his back a little bit, but no flag call. I would like to see a replay there, but I think that, I don't know, let's take a look here. It looked like he was kind of draped on the, he held him. Yeah, that should have been PI. That should have been PI, 100%. I kind of felt like PI when I was watching it. And then we got Jalen Hurts with the self-inflicted wound here. False start. No problem. Yeah, we don't want the refs, Tom Brady, to factor into the game. But when the guy is draped on you and you have contact past 5 yards and he's on the back, a second or two before the football comes, that's a penalty. You have to call it, fairly on both sides. That might have cost Philly a touchdown there. All right, they just need to settle in, take a breath, settle in. You're good. Settle in here. But obviously having a backup on the line is, making it a little bit of an issue there for sure. Shotgun set on 3rd down and 13. All out blitz. Floater. He's got a man. Oh. Flag on the play, though. They're at the 1. And now you can go Saquon here. But, again, do you want to give Saquon 3 touchdowns? You'll probably just do a tush push with Jalen and, get him in after, obviously, the no call. But then you get the penalty flag there. Might as well just run it in with Jalen Hurts here. That's what I would do. I mean, unless you really want to give Saquon, 3 tutties in the first half, you can. But I assume that they're so close, they'll push it. They'll get in 21-12. That looked like a makeup call, from the previous, pass interference that we should have gotten already. So, makeup call. We see it in the NBA all the time too. When they miss a call and then the next time on the floor, it's some kind of cheap reach in and then they call a foul to make up for it. So, but you got plenty of options. You can go Gainwell, you can go Saquon. You don't really need to throw the ball in this situation because you don't want to have a tipped pass. So tush push it, get in the fucking end zone, and then get it to 21-12. 1st and goal. Tush push, like I said. I should be an OC. Touchdown. Eagles, and they're about to scrap here, A.J. Brown, and there's a flag. They don't like each other. That's for damn sure. Things getting chippy. Penalty on Lattimore. Unnecessary roughness. But we know Lattimore, he used to do it with my Bucks, with Mike Evans. So no surprise that he's going after A.J. Brown. The guy loves to talk shit. Again, a good player. He is a good player. But again, sometimes he doesn't know when to stop. And again, A.J. Brown ain't going to back down from him. Again, he loves to go against the big, tall receivers, the Lattimore, DK Metcalf, Lattimore, A.J. Brown, Lattimore, Mike Evans. He just doesn't know when to stop. Yeah, but the thing is, Odin, if Mahomes was doing it on the regular and you were scoring, you would love it. The only reason you hate it is because you know you might lose the Super Bowl to that play. That's the real reality. That, we'll see how the game, plays out, but it could be a play like that could decide the Super Bowl for sure. Getting chippy. And 2-point conversion, I don't like going for this play here. I don't know if he got in there. I would have just taken the points right there. I definitely wouldn't have. I get it. They wanted to go for 2 to make it 10. But again, when you're chasing points on both sides, I hate it. Just take the points while they're there. And that 2-point conversion, no good. So you have a 2-point conversion, no good, and a missed field goal. But it probably doesn't matter. The Eagles are still going to win. It's not like the game is going to be decided by 3 or less. But when you play the Chiefs, you better be, if it ends up being the Chiefs over the Bills, you can't be so, happy-go-lucky with, your 2-point conversion, play calls and whatnot. So 20-12, still an 8-point lead for the Philadelphia Eagles. Nice job, Jalen. They got themselves a little super team over here. But again, if they didn't have a good offensive line and a good defense, it doesn't mean anything. You got to be able to have the gas that makes the car go. And boy, do they ever. All right, Slick Nick. B-Doc loves it. Zach Bond loves it. Howie loves it. Randall loves it. Yeah, I agree. Lattimore doesn't like anybody. Hell, Lattimore probably don't even like himself. It's just, again, when you play secondary, corner, or safety, you got to be a dog. You can't get pushed around. But I'm not sure if you're going to see, the prime Lattimore that we saw a few years ago on the Saints, on the Commanders. I'm not sure if you're going to see that type of player ever again. He might be on the decline, but still a player that can make plays, though. Oh, fumble! Uh-oh. Now the game's over. Uh-oh. Another fumble by Washington. Unbelievable. Oh, my. Recovered by Gainwell. Fumblerooski, Fumbalaya. Let's go. And again, when you're playing a team like Philadelphia or Kansas City at home, this cannot fucking happen. And McNichols just runs into the player and the ball comes out. You know Philadelphia is going to get a touchdown here to go up. And this might be all she wrote. Yeah. You can't have self-inflicted wounds when you're playing the better team on the road. Facts. Way to bring that electricity. Have you gotten any new merch lately, Zini? Have you gotten any new like jerseys or shirts or anything like that? The Bucks shirt, still to this day, the one that you got there when you watch the Bucks and the Eagles, is probably still the most comfortable, softest Bucks shirt that I've ever owned. Appreciate you. First down and 10. Man in motion. Shotgun set. Hurts. Little check down. Dickerson and Jurgens, huh? Wow. Touchdown, Eagles. But there's a flag on the play. That's coming back. That's got to be a hold. Man, Jalen made that look easy. Yeah, big hold there. Dickerson holding Bobby Wagner. We know Bobby Wagner, even though he's a little bit older, can be a game wrecker for sure. And still at this age. Should be able to get a minimum of 3 here, but of course, if you're in Philadelphia, you're going for the fucking jugular here, and you're going for the tutty. Hurts. Pressure. Spins out of the pocket. Scrambling. And just throws it away. Good decision there by Jalen Hurts. Third down and 10 at the Washington 24. Mental toughness, physical toughness. Philadelphia's got it. Yeah, Dickerson snapping it on his butt cheek there, but at least Jalen was able to get the ball. What a warrior Dickerson is. Third down and 10 on the Commando 24. Hurts. Saquon. Oh, late hit. That's a flag. Big late. That was stupid by Washington right there. What are you thinking? What are you thinking right there? Like they're not going to call that? Automatic first down. Now you're definitely getting the touchdown now. Like if you were able to hold them to a field goal, at least you feel a little bit better with all the problems that have happened. Self-inflicted wounds by the Commandos. But the last thing that you need is a frustration penalty when he's already out of bounds 2 yards. Stupid. That's like trying to get a Saquon injured type of hit. All right, punch it in. Man in motion. Hurts. Saquon. Down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. All right, punch this in. Most 60-plus yard scrimmage touchdowns, including postseason. Saquon Barkley, number 1. That's a type of shit that I'm talking about. I mean, he's doing things that we've never really seen from a running back position in a year like this. Man in motion. Saquon again. 3rd and goal. I mean, if you really want to, catch them off guard, you end up doing a play action to Saquon and you throw to Goddard wide open in the end zone. That's what I would do because, unless you want to just keep going to Saquon or Jalen Hurts, you can always go that route as well. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, they could always find a way to try to get them the ball. But who would be the person that would be least likely to get the football? A Goddard or like a Gainwell. And, those are the guys that you could definitely look at. But wide receivers have been not really targeted that much. So A.J. Brown getting a tutty here wouldn't shock me either. Devontae is, going to be from the 20 to the 20s. And, A.J. Brown is all over the field. But, again, it's all about trying to be one step ahead of the opponent. You think it's going to go to Saquon? Boom, I'm going to go to A.J. Brown. Let's see what we get here. 3rd and goal. Man in motion. Shotgun set. Hurts. He's got Brown. Touchdown. Eagles. Wow. Let's go. Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown. And that's money, baby. That's money. 27-12 Philly. And again, everyone that picked Washington, they went up against Tampa's bad defense and Detroit's bad defense. Of course, when your quarterback has been hot, you can score points. But when you're going against a tough defense, and this is the type of shit that happens, you just can't expect that Jaden Daniels going against an elite defense after going against soft defenses the last couple weeks in the playoffs, that he was going to do the same thing. It's not like Philly doesn't have a defense. And you're on the road. Kick is up. And good. Jake Elliott, 27-12, Eagles. Nice job. Anything that anybody else that you want to see photo-wise based off your support? Same thing goes for you too, Odin. Anything that you want to be able to see? We're almost into halftime here, and I'll be able to put up photos for you guys as people end up using the restroom and getting snacks and whatnot. Good choice. Now JT in the building. What's good? Cooper DeJean. You know, what makes it kind of special is that, you know, how often do teams actually go for corner in the draft and they both pan out? That's pretty rare. But again, Philadelphia pretty good at drafting. Getting the right players for the right scheme, holding each other accountable, you know, that championship mentality. $27-12 Philly. Daytona 500. Can't wait for that. February 16th. We'll be streaming that as well. Daniel in the building. What's good? Yeah, starting to already gonna get out of hand. Yeah, they didn't have these self-inflicting wounds because you're playing teams like Tampa and Detroit that don't have a fucking defense. I mean, I got a defense, but not all my guys were healthy. So, you know, and Detroit doesn't have a defense. So, you know, again, they played better than anyone anticipated. But, you know, at some point or another, you know, when you play teams that don't have D, you can look great. But then when you end up playing a team that does, you know, again, they did split in the regular season, but playoffs is a whole nother animal. It's like Josh Allen. You know, he can win in the regular season against Patrick Mahomes, but he can't win in the postseason. So, you know, again, you know, you got to be the number one seed. You know, the games have to go through your building and your fans to be able to get to that next level, especially in the AFC NFC championship game. It's hard for a road team to win in that scenario. Facts. Check down for Jaden Daniels. Eckler with a short game. We're at 27-73 to go. Chief in the building. What's good? We'll be streaming this, and then as soon as this game is over, right into the Bills and Chiefs. 7 hours straight. So any love and support that we can get here with likes, subs, donos, shares would be greatly appreciated. Nice little stiff arm there. First down. Commandos. Move the chains. Jalen Carter with encroachment. Jalen Carter trying to eye poke, huh? Jalen Carter going for the eye poke. That was dirty. Jalen Carter is probably the dirtiest player in the NFL. He's like a brand new Ndamukong Suh. Even when he's not trying to be dirty, he's dirty. But I don't know what the hell that was. Come on, Jalen Carter. We know you're a phenomenal athlete and you're a dog, but you don't want to be dirty or cheap. You know, don't take anything away from Philadelphia. But I'll tell you what, you know, Ndamukong Suh, for as dirty as he was, I mean, he, you know, played some ball here in Oregon, went to Nebraska. You know, we've seen him step on Aaron Rodgers. And, you know, again, sometimes you got to have those crazy motherfuckers on your team. And when you play against those guys, you hate them. But come on, Jalen, clean it up. Shotgun set. Daniel steps up. The 50, the 40. Out of bounds. First down and 10 at the Philly 35. Nice job, Jaden. Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, I'm never going to be 100% on all my picks, but I did pick Eagles Chiefs, and I got a pretty good record based off my predictions on AFC, NFC championship game and Super Bowl. Yeah, but you have to understand also, too, the Bills can win in the regular season, but at, you know, playoffs, at home, it's a different ball game, you know. Self-inflicted wounds, you know, you can't have them. And there's a high probability that Buffalo might have some. You Again, it's like for me, I think Buffalo and Josh Allen have played great, but I'm not really sold on their offensive line, even though it's better than the Chiefs, and their defense. And again, you might not be able to get beat, for a good chunk of the season with not a defense, but there is going to come a point where you do play a team that's better than you that has a defense, and it's pretty clear the Commandos and Bills don't have a D, and the Eagles and Chiefs do, and that's the difference. And I definitely think that the Bills can go to a Super Bowl, and I think that they will, but they might have to wait to be able to be a number one seed and have the first round bye and have the game come to them into Buffalo. And if the game is in Buffalo, then that's going to give Josh Allen the best shot to get it done besides today. But again, he hasn't had very good luck, playing in Kansas City. But we'll see if I'm right or not, obviously when we do the next stream, if Kansas City ends up winning or if we do get Josh Allen. And it's like, it's not like I don't like the Commanders or the Bills. Hell, I would love to be able to see someone new and someone different. But, it's about one thing about betting, with your head or with your heart. And a lot of people, they hate the Chiefs and the Eagles, and so they're going to root against them. But, the reality is you can hate teams, but that isn't going to change, who's going to win the game. Even if you don't like those teams, like the teams that are, the most well-rounded and that have a defense are going to win. Field goal is up and good. 27-15 Philly. Yeah. And again, they can win in the regular season. That's not a problem. He's got a great record against the Chiefs in the regular. But again, if you actually look at the records of teams that play in the AFC, NFC championship game, and if you look at teams that play on the road, you usually are going to get upsets within the first couple rounds, for like a road team winning like the Commanders, but again, once it ends up getting to this point, it's very difficult to end up beating a home team, especially if they're well-rounded, have a great fan base, to give them that edge with the 12th man, extra people there, cheering, and obviously, the teams that have a defense are going to be in a competitive advantage. Halftime, 27-15. All right, let's get some photos up here. Yeah, we know that's not going to happen. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go check up on Paisley since it's been almost 2 hours just to see how she is doing. Halftime, 27-15. Saquon Barkley, the stud, 85 yards and 2 tutties, especially with his first attempt. He took it to the house. And again, it's not fully out of reach, but it kind of feels like it because I don't really see Washington slowing down Philadelphia. And when Philly has a lead, they're going to pound the rock and bleed the clock. They're a smart team. But let me go check up on Paisley real quick. And then for the people that donated, any type of photos that you want to be able to see based on your favorite players and whatnot, let me know. And again, then halftime hopefully will be over in a reasonable amount of time, which I think it should. And we'll be right back at it. Hopefully the Commanders can make it a little bit closer of a matchup, but it's been all Philadelphia. Okay, let me see. I can tell you what we're at. Let me see what it shows. All right, looks like we are. If you're in the building and haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're at 14. We need 6 more to go to get to the goal. 6 more. And then we're at 27, 73 to go. And then as soon as this game is over, and then hopefully there'll be a little bit of, couple minutes for me to be able to prep, and then we'll be right into the AFC Championship game, and we'll be double dipping for the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Can't wait. All right, we're at 15, 5 more to go. If you can't stop Saquon, you're not going to ever win against the Philadelphia Eagles. That's facts. All right, let me get one last checkup here on Paisley, get her a little snack, get her some fresh water, and then we should be able to be hopping back into the third quarter here in just a couple minutes. All right, she's all tucked in on the couch. Megan in the building. Hopefully you feel better. Matt in the building. What's good? Oh, nice little new icon. Like it. How are you, brother? How are you doing today? I like the new profile pic switch up there. Very bright and orange. All right, well, we got a few minutes before we get back into the action. Anything I can put up photo-wise for Megan and Matt to make you guys feel a little bit better? I mean, obviously, when things are kind of in a funk or you're not feeling your full true potential and self, things are sometimes you have to go through the motions and just try to make the best of it. But if there's anything I can do photo-wise to bring a smile to your face, let me know, and I got you. All right, start of the third quarter. We're getting back into it. All right, let me get into a commercial break here. You got anybody specific on the Kraken that you want? I got a lot of photos I need to move around and delete here to make room for some more, so. Who are you thinking? Like Maddie B? I got you. What's your little Peter to get things going? 0 punts in the first half, and then let me get some of these other ones loaded, and I'll sprinkle in a couple Kraken players for you. Nice to see them playing a little bit better than they did at the beginning of the season. So, same thing with the Blazers. Blazers are starting to play a little bit better, and that's always good to see, especially when you appreciate your favorite team in that particular sport. The last thing that you want is to see the team struggle, the whole particular season. So, ooh, big pop there from the Commanders on special teams. And a player down. Wow. Hey, Kraken logo there for you. A little Maddie B for your viewing pleasure. Oh, Brandon Montour. And a little Kako. And I like Chandler Stevenson. I like, the players that we brought in have been, it's making the team more exciting. It's just about building the chemistry and, just getting better players to be a part of Seattle. But hopefully that will make things a little bit better. Not going to solve every problem that is going on in your life, but any little thing that I can do to try to make a day a little bit better for someone, I'm definitely willing to do. Shotgun set, Hurts. Keeper breaks away from a tackle, and he's running for his life towards the sideline. Minimal gain. No problem. Eagle in the building. What's good? Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. More than likely. Now, if Buffalo was a 1 seed and they had to go to Buffalo, then that's going to be your best chance to get it done. And I think that, James Cook is going to, play good. I think Josh Allen is going to play good. But again, what kind of worries me is the O-line and the defense for the Bills. 12 noon, you know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. And obviously some injuries on that offensive line. They're getting a little bit of exposure and a little bit exposed. But again, they'll have next man up mentality, and that's not going to be the last sack on Jalen Hurts. But if they can minimize the damage, that'll, give them a little bit more comfort in here in the second half. Yeah. Well, we'll see if you're right or not. Like I said, my predictions, for AFC, NFC championship game and Super Bowl are typically like 90%. Not saying that I'm going to be right on every single pick, but I did pick Eagles Chiefs. And again, you're doing it based on the hate of Kansas City in your heart because you're a Denver fan and, too much Swiftie exposure. So you have to look at it not based on being a Bronco fan, and just the hate for Kansas City. You just have to look at it in general with no bias. And, again, we'll see what happens. Buffalo is, definitely, capable of doing it, but the answer is, will they do it? And they can win in the regular season, but they can't win in the playoffs. And that's just my kind of observation. If Buffalo is going to make the Super Bowl, they're going to have to be the number 1 seed, and they're going to have it go through Buffalo like Kansas City has, and then that gives you your best chance of advancing, and then there's no guarantee that you win. Because if it was Buffalo, Philadelphia, Buffalo wouldn't win the Super Bowl. They could get there, but they wouldn't beat Philadelphia. Not with the no defense. So you got to think, the two teams that have the best defenses, they're both at home. The home teams in the NFC, AFC championship game typically don't lose. So, but again, we will see. Well, he's played pretty good. He's been double teamed and there's been guys holding him. So again, he's played decent. But again, this is just, too many self-inflicting wounds by the Commanders. And let me see if I can go to the box score real quick. Let's take a look to see if it gives me any updated stats. One thing I can predict for you is he's the leading tackler on the team because he usually is every game. Let's see where it is at. So 3 leading tacklers for the Commanders, Bobby Wagner, there we go, got that, Jonathan Allen, and then Jeremy Chin, the former Panther. So we've got 7 total tackles, 4 solo, 1 tackle for loss, but there's no interceptions or fumbles. If anything, it's been kind of self-inflicted wounds. And again, in the regular season, each team won on the other team's turf, right? Washington won in Philly at the end of the season. Philly won in Washington at the beginning of the season. But the playoffs are a whole other story. Just because you beat them in the regular, things change when it is in the playoffs, especially as we get further along. So. But again, there's a reason why, with all the stats and analytics and the research that I do, where I feel that I got a pretty good grasp, on the predictions and whatnot. And again, I think a lot of people are rooting for Josh Allen because they're just sick and tired of the Chiefs and seeing Patrick Mahomes and sick and tired of the Taylor Swift and the Travis Kelce saga and the refs and all that. But again, three-peat, history. Again, I'm not saying that the refs are going to dictate the outcome of the game, but there's going to be more money and more eyeballs on the line if the Chiefs make it. And again, it gives them a chance to three-peat, or the Philadelphia Eagles win with Saquon Barkley. That's going to be what's best for business. And again, just Josh Allen's great. James Cook is great. And we always thought that they weren't good enough before because they didn't have a top 5, top 10 running back. Now they do. Their offensive line is better than Kansas City's, but their defense doesn't really exist. Same thing with Washington. And at some point, you can get away with it up to the point where you play someone that actually has a defense. And Washington and Buffalo are going to see what that's about here today. 27-15, Philly. Robinson with the short game. But I feel like a lot of the people, and I can't speak for everyone, but a lot of people that pick the Commanders and pick the Bills, it's kind of just hate towards the Philly fan base and Kansas City, and it has to be deeper than that, just based on, I don't like these two teams, or they are too good and they've been there so often. 12 noon, you know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Big sack lunch by Philly. O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling. I've said that since I've started the channel. Those are the things that matter, not necessarily quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. And again, we'll see what happens here. And if Buffalo ends up winning, it'll be great. It'll be, Josh Allen finally having his moment. But it's not like they would beat Philadelphia in the Super Bowl, more than likely. So, but it would be a kind of a shift in the AFC to see Buffalo finally do it. But again, they finally got the running back, but I need to see a better offensive line and a better defense before we start crowning them over Kansas City in Arrowhead. That's not going to be an easy place to win, just like here in Philly. It's not easy to win here in the playoffs, period. 4th down and 13. Washington with the punt. Yeah, and again, dynasties, when you start seeing, the Patriots and the Chiefs, and you start seeing teams, the Niners that had their little dynasty, the Cowboys had a little bit of a dynasty. And again, if you're not a fan of that team, of course you want something different, something new. But again, the chance to three-peat, no team's ever done it. They've won championships every single way, with Tyreek, without Tyreek, with Bieniemy, without Bieniemy. Defense actually being better than the offense the last couple years. Where we were seeing Patrick Mahomes a few years back, 4,000, 5,000 yards, 40, 50 touchdowns. Now it feels like, he's more of like a game manager where he doesn't really need to play that great. Same thing with Jalen Hurts. They can hand the ball off to Pacheco and Hunt, rely on Chris Jones and that defense. And it might not be pretty and it might be ugly at times, but as long as they don't have self-inflicted wounds, they find ways to win. Good teams find a way to win. Bad teams find a way to lose. If you're number one on 3rd down conversion and you got number one in a couple defensive categories, that can't be something that you just overlook, and be like, well, I don't like this team. Fuck them. Again, people were saying that about the Patriots for years and years and years. And I will agree, it's kind of would be nice to be able to see, new teams emerge. But again, you got to earn it. And if your team isn't Super Bowl caliber, you're not going to beat a Super Bowl caliber, type of team. You have to be on that level. And, I just feel like Washington and Buffalo are just not there yet. Buffalo is closer than Washington, but again, I just, that offense, we know is great, but the defense, that worries me. But again, if anybody that isn't a Chief fan, is wanting someone new, and they don't even care. Josh Allen, cool. Lamar, cool. Like anybody. Joe Burrow, cool. Like it's pretty, universal. I feel that like if you're not a Chief fan and you're kind of sick of them, seeing Burrow or Lamar or Josh Allen will equally be awesome. And I think that as fans, if you love the NFL, you would love to see Burrow win one, Allen win one, and Lamar win one. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. You don't have to be a super fan of any of those other three, but I think they're really likable. They're awesome quarterbacks. It's just that, sometimes you got the king of the castle and you got to kick them out. And right now, they're still kings. A.J. Brown, 1st down, Eagles. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, move the chains. Play action. Goddard. Oh, you're a Chiefs fan, and that's your number one rival. But again, I said if you're not a Chiefs fan, so obviously Chiefs fans are going to be like, fuck Burrow, fuck Lamar, fuck Josh Allen. But we're speaking for everyone that's not you. And Chief will chief in any Chief fan. I think of the rest of us, we want to see Burrow win one for his legacy. We want to be able to see Allen. We want to see Lamar. And obviously that will be nice by Goddard. 1st down, Eagles. And obviously if those guys win, that means that the Chiefs and you lose. So, I can feel where you're coming from, but for everyone else that's not a Chief fan, we want Burrow to win. He's likable. We don't think he's too cocky. And we don't even think he's cocky. He's a great player. It's just that's the team that can beat you, but again, they haven't been able to figure it out just yet. I mean, if it comes to, you're the piece that gets eliminated, of course you don't want that. But I think a majority of NFL fans love Lamar, Allen, and Burrow. Hurts, touchdown, Eagles. Nice job, Jalen. This one's over, baby. Hit the gritty. Extra point is up and good. 34-15 Philly. All right, no problem. Hopefully that'll cheer you up a little bit. And we know the Chiefs-Bills game is going to be much closer than this. And again, don't be surprised if the Bills end up with a 10-0 or 13-0, 14-0 lead, but that doesn't mean that the Chiefs can't come back. They got an incredible record of being down by 10 points or more and still finding ways to come back and win. And the main reason that is, compared to any other team in the NFL, is one simple thing. This guy right here. Facts. Can't wait for this one. It should be good. Josh Allen, James Cook, offensive line. The linebacking core with Matt Milano is back. But then you got the clone, Patrick Mahomes, DeAndre Hopkins, Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, Trent McDuffie, Harrison Butker, Andy Reid. A lot of Chiefs there. A lot more advantages for the Chiefs than the Bills. Like, you might have quarterback play better than Mahomes. You could argue James Cook is better than Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. Offensive line is a little bit better than the Chiefs right now. And then the linebacking core, obviously, you still got some guys on the Chiefs side, that are very capable, like Nick Bolton, right? It's almost a push between him and Matt Milano. But, Kansas City just has better units on their team, and they're at home, so. But I'm not really surprised that the score is like this because, again, Washington ended up playing, defenses that really, we stepped up pretty good with our defense when we played. It was a pretty good battle back and forth. But obviously the Lions, no defense, and it finally came back to bite them. But, again, the teams that are the most well-rounded, top to bottom, are the Chiefs and the Eagles. And, we'll see if we end up getting that matchup or not. But Eagles-Bills, Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl is going to be fun, 34-15 Philly. Man in motion. Shotgun set. Daniels. And he needs to be a threat with his legs. And again, if you're not going to be a threat with your legs, this one's going to be, it's already a blowout now, but it shows you again, you can still be good and, be the first rookie, to make it, again, if he would have won this game, he would have been the first rookie to make it to a Super Bowl. But at some point or another, you finally typically hit a wall, and the wall is in Philadelphia. Nice first down there, though. Move the chains. Daniels, hands off. Robinson, and they need a better running back than Robinson as well. I think Robinson's a good running back, but when I watch him, he seems like more like an RB2. And I know they have Eckler as the RB2 and whatnot, but I think they need someone a little bit better to kind of take off a little pressure, from Jaden Daniels. I think he's, he's a decent one, but I think that they need someone a little bit better. If Eckler could be your 3 and Robinson's your 2, and you end up having someone a little bit better, like a James Cook type, someone a little bit better, and it could maybe take them a little bit further. They've got an injury on the field. Yeah. Well, we already know, he's probably the dirtiest NFL player right now. But again, sometimes does questionable things. But again, from a, person that has had Ndamukong Suh, he definitely matured as he got later in his career. But early on, stepping on Aaron Rodgers, and, he played here in Oregon, then went to Nebraska. Sometimes, you need a crazy son of a bitch on your team to help you win. But if you play against that guy, you don't really like him, and I know a lot of people don't like going against Jalen Carter or Ndamukong Suh or even going back to Bill Romanowski, but they're very skilled, and you got to be a little crazy to play football, but you just don't want to see guys being dirty and trying to injure people on purpose. And saw the eye poke by Jalen earlier, on the center there. I just clean that up. We already know you're a good player. We don't want you to be labeled as the dirtiest NFL player, and it's not like he's going to care. Philly's a little edgy. And again, he probably wouldn't pan out the same way here as if he would have went to a different team. If anything, he probably would get, more isolated and more, fingers pointed at, especially if it's costing teams wins. But, you got a lot of guys from Georgia and Bama, in the SEC, over the last few years there, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully a little immature as he gets older. But he's a great player, though. Buffalo, 100%. Because I predicted in this game Eagles-Chiefs, and again, that one could go either way. Teams are very well balanced. They're almost mirror images of each other. So, I feel the Eagles are good enough to win against anybody. And so, again, if it's Eagles-Chiefs, then you're going to earn it. If it ends up being Eagles-Bills, I feel that the Eagles would win that. I think Josh Allen, again, he's got the opportunity to make plays with James Cook, but with the offensive line and the defense being kind of question marks, I just don't know if that Buffalo team is good enough to let alone beat the Chiefs and then do it again and beat the Eagles. So, I feel Philadelphia is in a really good position right now because they're the most well-rounded team. They don't have any holes. Kansas City is number 2. They have a few holes, but not many. And obviously, then it's the Bills, and then the Commanders have the most holes. And coincidentally, they're down 34-15. So, Zach Ertz, first down. Commanders. Move the chains. But we can't, it's not like Jaden Daniels has had a, bad year. He's had a great year. But again, when you end up playing a team that finally has a defense, you can't expect Jaden Daniels to play like he did against Detroit, and you're going to get the same result again. And I know some people were thinking that was going to happen, but again, it just depends on how much football you watch. And if you understand, teams and, home field advantage and records in the AFC, NFC championship game by home teams, history repeats itself. Short game. Yeah, well, Bills' offensive line is better than the Chiefs' offensive line right now, but if it ends up being the Eagles-Chiefs, again, it could go either way. Could end up being, decided by a field goal at the end. But it's a very well-balanced matchup, and, Chiefs would probably be favored, but that would be the way the Eagles would want it anyways. But, to me, it feels like, Eagles offense is better than the Chiefs. Eagles offensive line is better than the Chiefs. And then the defense, they're both equally great, but again, there's a few units, that you could say that Philly is a little bit better, but Philly's offensive line now is starting to get kind of banged up with injuries with Dickerson and Jurgens and whatnot. And then that could be a factor, because if you can get pass rush on either quarterback, obviously that's a problem. But we know Philly does next man up mentality. Trips right. Shotgun set for Daniels. First down and 10. Run, baby. Run. There you go. Touchdown. Jaden Daniels. There you go. And like I said, if he uses his legs, that's going to give them a shot to be a little bit closer. He starts to use his legs, and what do you know? He gets into the end zone. Nice job by Jaden Daniels. A little too late, but at least it makes it a little bit closer. With 5:01 left in the third. Nice job, Jaden. There's too many self-inflicted wounds with those fumbles in the first half. Let's see where we're at. We need 4 more likes to be able to get to 20. 3 more. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. 3 more to get the goal. And then if we hit an algorithm boost, then we could get maybe a little bit more after that. There you go. All right, Jaden. 2-point conversion is good. 34-23, Philly. Yeah, well, again, Washington might be able to get some points on Philly's defense, but again, it's not going to be enough to come back and win the game. Again, good teams find a way to win. Bad teams find a way to lose. They don't have an answer for Saquon. They can use him. Again, Jalen Hurts doesn't need to throw for a lot to win. Both him and Patrick Mahomes have turned into elite game managers. Again, 16 for 22, 199 yards, 1 TD, and no picks. That's kind of where you want to be. You don't really need Jalen to be throwing for 350 to win. Zacchaeus with the nice 2-point conversion there for Jaden Daniels. And now we have an 11-point game. But I'm glad that they're fighting and not just rolling over and dying, to make it a little bit more interesting. We don't want to see a 20-point blowout. Let's try to, get it to 1 possession if possible. But again, they have no answer for this. They got no answer for this. Definitely not that. They can't stop this. They can't stop this. They can't stop this. So we'll see what happens here, but probably a healthy dose of Saquon. And I don't know about Gainwell's health and how he's doing, if he's going to be back in or not. Ohio State having to get a new defensive coordinator. Knowles going to Penn State, the rival. Interesting. Not like it's going to matter for the Buckeyes. They'll just find someone else like they always do. And then Ryan Presley to the Stros. Man, I can't wait for baseball. We're 60 days away, Sarah. 60 days away from Cardinal baseball, Mariner baseball, and baseball for anyone that enjoys it. 2 months away. Daytona 500 just a few weeks away as well. Excited to do some NASCAR on the channel. Obviously, when football is over, something to look forward to on Sundays. Very excited about that. And then obviously March Madness, we'll do some of that. And then MLB. And then MLB will be from April all the way to hopefully October for the Mariners. Yeah, you might have to look that up. But that's probably, I'm not sure if anything is confirmed, but I believe he did. Especially with the news that Sarah just dropped with the hire. So there was like speculation, a few weeks back or whatnot. And that, a lot of times those speculations turn into truth. So 34-23, Philly. They need to get Scary Terry the football. Diami Brown, got to get him the ball. It's about time we get Devontae Smith an opportunity to make a play. Gainwell is injured, so you're not going to see him back. All right, Jalen. Now, we only got one coach's spot left, the Saints. And they better pray to God that they don't hire Mike McCarthy. Every Saint fan will lose their goddamn mind if that happens. Saquon almost broke loose there. Hurts, scrambling, gambling. Get out of there, Hurts. Throws it to the sideline, incomplete. Third down and 5. I got you. Luvu is a boss, good player. Third down and 5, trips left, shotgun set. Washington bringing pressure off the edge, a little check down. Devontae Smith. There we go, first down, Eagles. Move the chains. Appreciate that, man. Take care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Anthony in the building. What's good? Philly has to go. Anthony in the building. Raiders in the building. What's good, Anthony? Always good to see you in the room whenever you have a chance to come in. You always have great questions. You know, I always keep it 100. I never have any bias. You know, even when it comes to my own favorite players and teams, you know, I'm never going to sugarcoat anything. You know, when someone is good, you're going to know it. When someone's bad, you're going to know it. And always good to be able to see you in the building, my guy. First down and 10, pump fake, Hurts, steps up, goes into a circle, and floats it out of bounds. What's good, my guy? Saquon Barkley loss of 2 yards, 4th down and 7. 4th down and 8. And again, Philly, if they're going to, you know, win this game, they obviously can't get too cute, you know, on how they play. You know, they're going to have to earn it. But again, you know, play calling will definitely be very interesting to see how aggressive or how conservative they get. You know, because if you're just trying to hang on to the victory, Washington could make a couple splash plays to really make it interesting. So you got to be able to put your foot on the gas, not just try to hang on to the win. And we'll see what type of Philadelphia Eagle team that we have here. If they're just going to try to barely hang on and you're holding on like a hug and not trying to let go, or if you're trying to F5 somebody and to end it, like we need to be able to see, the Stone Cold Stunner, the Rock Bottom. We need to be able to see the finishers come out. Good defense there by Washington. I appreciate that. I'm really proud of myself too, to be able to kind of keep pivoting and, reinvent myself, with many, many things, NFL, college football, doing WWE, NHL, NBA, college hoops occasionally, NASCAR. I mean, there really isn't, anything that I don't feel comfortable doing. And I feel I'm the most versatile, streamer that does sports and wrestling on YouTube. There's, a lot of hard work and energy and effort that come into it. But again, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I appreciate the compliments and, the good word of faith for me. And again, for me, it's like, this isn't just like a hobby. This is like my legacy, my life, my dream. I sacrificed a lot. So, I treat that, as, being very, very important to, be able to show people, there's other places that you can get information that won't be biased, because it just seems like anything on TV or podcast is so overly biased, and nobody wants to hear two people argue about if the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl. I feel like a lot of the networks are really stupid nowadays. It's like if you're trying to attract an OG grandpa, and then maybe, some demographics that might work. But for a lot of us, we would rather see like real topics being discussed and analyzed with stats and analytics instead of silly arguments over things that people don't even believe. So, Jacob in the building, what's good? So I predicted in my prediction video, I went Eagles and Chiefs. Obviously, I would love to be able to see someone new and have like the Commanders and the Bills, but I just don't think it's their time just yet. Bills have a better chance than the Commanders, but again, the Commanders are showing that they got to this point for a reason. Jaden Daniels is the truth, but it's hard to win in Philly. Zach Ertz, nice catch. What's good, bro? And I appreciate that. Shotgun set. Daniels tipped and complete. Good defense there by the Eagles. They always have that discipline to be able to jump up and bat balls down. And that's one thing I admire from Kansas City's defense and Philly's defense. Again, if the Commanders and the Bills ever get a defense, then maybe that'll be the time that they get to the Super Bowl. But, the Bills' offensive line and defense worry me. And it wouldn't shock me, again, if the Bills go out to a 10-0 lead, 13-0 lead, 14-0 lead, but that doesn't mean they're going to win. Daniels. Oh, what happened to my hands? Come on, Zach Ertz. Jesus Christ, you got to help your boy out, Jaden Daniels. So bad it hurt Zach Ertz. You got to catch that, my guy. That's rough. Incomplete. Jaden can't believe it. But he's a humble guy. He's not a yeller. Hell yeah, man. White corners is where it's at, dude. Cooper DeJean. Seeing players, we see like Caucasian white safeties, Harrison Smith and a few others over the years, but, white corners are like a unicorn. And not only that, a good one, not just a guy that's just, Caucasian white and plays the position, but he's actually one of the better corners in the league, which is awesome. So bad it hurt Zach Ertz. First down, Washington. Yeah, DeJean is like a fucking unicorn. Nice job by Zach Ertz there from Jaden Daniels. Yeah, but I'm all about DeJean. Good old Coop. Daniels. Check down. Fumble. Another fumble, and the Eagles recover. Unbelievable. You can't win a game when you got 3 fumbles. Unbelievable. Fumbled again. Now Washington comes out of the pile with the football, but I think the Eagles already had it. Eckler. Unbelievable. Javon in the building. What's good, brother? 34-23 Philly. And I think that Jaden Daniels, he's already a top 10 quarterback, and he's got the skill set to be top 5 and even maybe one day top 3. But again, it's a team game. And again, if you don't have every position group on the highest level, there's going to be mistakes. And again, it's very, very difficult to be able to win on the road, especially for a team like Philly that has been there before. But with Washington, this is brand new to them. End of the third quarter, 34-23 Philly. And Eckler, has been kind of a fumbling machine. And fumbles. What can you say? And that'll be the main topic. But again, if Washington made the Super Bowl, they'd get fucking blown out. And I don't think anyone wants to see the Bill. Well, if you're a Bill fan, you would love that because then you would win. And if you're Kansas City, you would win. But I mean, for as far as like fans that want to see a good game in the Super Bowl, Washington, if they were to make it, it would get ugly. Because if you're going to go toe-to-toe, no defense with the Bills, you already know who's going to win that battle. And if you go against the Chiefs, you're not going to see the Jaden Daniels against Detroit, I think last time you were here, you probably had a different profile pic from back in the day. 34-23 Philly. Shout out to all the new subs in 2025. Appreciate you guys very, very much. And then as soon as this game is over, no rest for me. We'll be jumping right into the Bills and the Chiefs. Can't have self-inflicted wounds when you're playing against the Eagles or Chiefs. Let me tell you, they are, they are more put together than even Kansas City. And those are the two most well-rounded teams. And again, defense wins games, defense wins championships. You're not going to see teams in the fucking Super Bowl that don't have a D. You're gonna have to, and you might get one that doesn't, but then that's the team that's going to lose. So, gotta have a well-rounded team. Yeah, I was going to say, you switched up your profile pic. It looks good, bro. It's been a minute. Oh, I mean, you got to think. I mean, I've been doing this for 13 years. I've been on YouTube for 9, and I did other recordings on like Facebook and other platforms prior to that. A lot of hard work, a lot of reading, a lot of film study, a lot of just, evolving, from going to doing reaction videos to the NFL and college football and rugby and soccer and then going from that to doing, live streams and then going from doing NFL live streams to college football live streams and NBA and college hoops and NHL and NASCAR and now WWE. And I hope to do Raw, SmackDown, and WWE Saturday Night Main Event weekly on the channel on top of Royal Rumble next Saturday. So I feel that, I've sacrificed a lot. Used to have a partner I did this with. He quit. And, I had to be able to keep grinding things out. I had a Michael Jordan rookie card that's worth $20,000 to $30,000 now that I sacrificed for this channel. And I feel that, dreams can come true, if you're willing to put in the time and the energy and the effort and have that consistency. And a lot of people, it's just like kind of like a hobby to them, but for me, this is my legacy. This is my fucking life. And, I like to be able to help people. And I like to be able to educate and show people that you don't have to be a hater. You don't have to be biased. I mean, of course, it's easy to be negative and easy to be a hater, but it's always nice to be able to appreciate greatness, even if it's on a rival team like Javon's Panthers. I can still appreciate, players on the team. Same thing with Saints fans and Falcons fans. I mean, I'm going to be Bucks till I die, but I want to see the NFC South succeed as a group and as a conference. So. Second down and 1. Jalen. Saquon. Oh, just tripped up. And if that's the thing, if Washington had a defense and they didn't have these 3 fumbles, this game would be much closer. But again, Saquon Barkley is the best player in the NFL this year. You know, it's like you have Josh Allen and you have Lamar, but Saquon could get the NFL MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year. And normally the MVP goes to a quarterback, Offensive Player of the Year goes to running back. But Saquon has played just as good, if not, let's say, better than Allen and Lamar. You know, like to me right now, he is the best player in the NFL, like this year. And to say a running back is better than a quarterback is insane. But this year, it's true. You know, and again, that might be the reason that the Eagles win the Super Bowl, because they have Saquon Barkley. That could be, you know, and there's many reasons, you know, where it could end up being that. But, you know, if the Eagles end up beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, if that's what we get, Saquon will be a reason why they win. I mean, Derrick Henry might be number 2, but he's not as consistent as Saquon on a game-in, game-out basis. Yeah, you are a super OG. Appreciate you, my guy. Good to see you. Don't be a stranger. Second and goal. Yeah, especially when you end up having like a backup center. You know, you don't have Kelsey in there. You know, you had Jurgens and then Dickerson. It's like, obviously, offensive line injuries are something to monitor with Philadelphia. It's always next man up mentality. But again, the tush-push isn't going to be as strong as it was when you had Kelsey, and it shows. Still pretty effective, but not the same. Offsides, Washington idiots. What are they doing? Yeah, and I appreciate that, and I feel, you know, I got the biggest channel for sports and wrestling in Oregon, you know, but obviously my goal is to, you know, have the biggest YouTube channel for sports and wrestling in the Pacific Northwest, you know, so I still got, you know, a ways to go to do that, and then eventually, you know, West Coast for Oregon, Washington, and California. So, you know, I have dreams and goals, and, you know, I want to be able to get to, you know, 50K and 100K subs, you know, but again, you know, my journey, I don't really compare myself to anyone else. I feel I'm not on the same kind of level or caliber as others, because I feel other people can be popular, you know, and again, you know, but as far as like stats, analytics, not being biased, you know, being someone that, another offsides there, someone that is, you know, real and genuine. I don't really think that you see a lot of that, you know, on YouTube channels anymore. And there's going to be, you know, people out there, you know, that, you know, do a great job, you know, and they work hard, but, you know, I pride myself on kind of doing it my way. So. Yeah, but everything happens for a reason. Like, do I wish I still had my PSA 9 1986 Michael Jordan rookie card? Yeah, I kind of wish, you know, I still had it. I mean, I owned it for, you know, 2001 until 2017. So I owned it for 16 years, you know, and I got it for $1,000 when it was worth $2,500, you know, but now worth 20 to 30,000. But like, would I rather have 20,000 subs in a dream or a $20,000 card? You know, I would rather have what I have right now. So I can always get another Jordan rookie before I die. So. Yeah, Washington's just jumping. There we go. Touchdown. Jalen Hurts. There it is. Jalen bringing that electricity. And obviously Jaden Daniels is, you know, kind of a great story, but all great stories, you know, especially if you're young and you're a rookie, all come to an end. And nothing to be ashamed of losing in the NFC Championship game. Hell, it should have been the Lions and Eagles. Let's be real. It should have been the Lions and Eagles. And, if it ended up being Lions and Eagles, I still think that we would get the same outcome, Philly winning, but maybe the game's a little bit closer. Extra point is up and good. 41-23, Philly. Nice job, Jalen. $27.73 to go. Every dollar counts. And I honestly wish the NHL, and the NBA were a little bit more enjoyable to watch. Obviously, if you're a hockey fan, you're going to enjoy it. Obviously, Kraken's starting to play a little bit better as of late, but I just wish that NBA was better. I wish it was like it was when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, so that way I could actually do NBA games more regularly on the channel, more NHL, more NBA, because I know people care about those things, but I have to look at it from a business standpoint too. It's like, just because I want to do it, doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get a good turnout and whatnot. So sometimes I have to make a business decision and whatnot, but I still enjoy the NHL. It's not like I don't enjoy it, but when you got two teams that you root for that are both like bottom 5 in their respective sport, Seattle Kraken, Portland Trailblazers, kind of hard, because it's like, hell, if some people have a hard time watching them, what does that mean if I stream them? But again, the Blazers have been playing better as of late, and the Kraken as well. So at least I got that going, but it's not really the same, as like watching the Bucks or the Ducks for me, or the Mariners. $41-23 Eagles. Yeah, and also too, it's like I had to learn everything on my own. Like nobody taught me, how to make thumbnails, or no one taught me, how to do all the things that you need to do to be successful, on YouTube and whatnot, and kind of trial and error, and trying to improve the channel, not only looks wise, but content wise as well. And it's been a long journey, but again, I plan on doing this until I die. So it's not like I'm gonna stop anytime soon. Like this is gonna be the job that I do for the rest of my life. So I've got a long ways to go. We're about 1% into the journey, even though I've been doing this for 13 years. I don't think they were necessarily trying to draw on offsides. I think that they just jumped offsides. So, it's not like they were going to stop them anyways. All right, let's see if we can get a score here out of Jaden Daniels to cut this lead down, so it's not looking as such a blowout here. Floater incomplete. So we'll give the Redskins spinning logo here, maybe give Jaden Daniels some luck. See what happens here. Yeah, I mean, it's nice that we have such a wide age range, here on the channel. Again, it goes all the way from, 18 all the way up to like 90. So you never know, how long somebody has been watching, but also it depends on, like what you're watching and if you can comprehend it. Because, a lot of people could be watching the same game, but that doesn't mean they're watching the same thing. So Jalen Carter and Jaden Daniels chirping at each other, talking shit. Yeah, but even though you haven't been watching football as long as me since like 1985, that doesn't mean that you don't comprehend like play calls and route running just as good, if not better, than most people on the channel. So, even though you might not be watching as much, at least there's certain things that you enjoy about football that you feel pretty comfortable with and enjoy. So, Cooper DeJean with the tackle. Nice job, Coop. Fourth down. Shotgun set. Daniels. First down. So bad it hurt Zach Ertz. Move the chains. Nice throw. Nice catch by Zach Ertz. So bad it hurt Zach Ertz. First down, Washington. Daniels high. Incomplete. Crowder, a rare look there. You haven't seen McCaffrey get any looks. They need to get Diami Brown and Scary Terry McLaurin more football opportunities here. But again, Philly's defense is very, very good, and it's hard to be able to get anything on them, especially on the road. Eckler, nothing. And Daniels sacked. Loss of 9. Turnover on downs. This one it's already over, but now it's getting kind of ugly, where Philly might be getting close to a 50-burger. Shows you how important it is to have a defense. You think a team that had defense that would be putting up a 50-burger? They don't got time to go to Diami Brown and Scary Terry to make those big plays. Yeah, Fangio's awesome. Perfect fit for this team. Great sack lunch there. 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. And then this game needs to hurry up and end so that way I can prep for the next one. Long, long day. I usually am gassed and tired after doing 3 to 4 hours. Today it's going to be like a 7-hour day, but sometimes you got to fight through. These are the last 2 games, for AFC, NFC championship game, and then we'll have 1 game, Super Bowl. So technically we got 2 games left other than this, and that's it. So got to soak it in. Little flip. Devontae Smith. Three fumbles, 3 touchdowns. You can't win that way. I agree. I don't know if he's good enough to be a head coach, but again, he's a good play caller. Just like Ben Johnson is a good, play caller, but as far as head coach for the Bears, I would not be surprised if he gets fired in a couple years. So they were talking about Slowick the same way, and he ended up getting fired. So I feel like a lot of these coordinators, they're just not good enough to be head coaches. If they're going to be head coach, leader, and call plays, or they're just going to be a leader and not do the play calling anymore. But as far as like a lot of the new hires and that we've seen, Saints are still on the board. And there's not really anyone that you can say like, wow, like people want to say Vrabel and Ben Johnson were the best 2 hires. They might be able to keep their jobs the longest based on ownership not firing them. But I don't really think there's like really that many spectacular hires. I think everyone is going to get fired that got hired, Floater in the end zone, incomplete, Flag on the play. Jeremy Chin with the penalty. And it's okay to be a good play caller, And there's nothing wrong with being, like a Chip Kelly and being like an amazing OC instead of being like a head coach for a shitty team and then you get fired after a year or two. Just like Liam Cohen will get fired and Ben Johnson will get fired. And, again, maybe they'll be a little bit more patient with Vrabel and Pete Carroll based off their history, but again, a lot of these hires, I don't really see anything really coming into, like long-term success for any of those guys that got hired this year. It's just kind of a revolving door. Yeah, Pete, you could argue that Pete might be one of the better ones. Vrabel is like a safe hire. I don't know if it would be like called a good or great hire. I guess better than all the others, for the most part. But Goddard. Touchdown. Saquon Barkley again. Oh, my. They're almost at a 50 burger. Extra point is good. The Eagles are good. What do you think? 5 rushing touchdowns today. Like I said, my ESP is pretty good. I don't really make too many mistakes on predictions and whatnot. Maybe I should start betting money so that way I can actually become rich. But I'm not a gambler, and I'm not someone that has addiction to gambling and whatnot, but maybe at some point or another I should, but I just don't have the extra money to do it. But maybe when I do have the extra money to do it, then, maybe I can end up coming up on the come up a little bit, because your boy knows football. Not going to be 100%, but when it comes to the playoffs and championship rounds, I feel like I'm like 90%. $48-23 Philly. Not surprised. I mean, that would be the most logical thing, right? Slowick is, decent, and, Lions and Bucks, have some holes there. But Slowick actually looked at, like, his rankings, with the play calling. And yes, Stephon Diggs ended up getting hurt and Tank Dell. But most of the categories that he was, responsible for, Slowick, he was ranked 17 through 23. That's not good enough. When especially you have CJ Stroud and Mixon and Diggs and Tank Dell, and you have all of these Nico Collins. Like, it needs to be better than that. Obviously offensive line isn't very good and defense could be better, but I think that's the reason why they moved on from Slowick, because a lot of the stats were average or kind of on the back end. It's like you want to be in the top 10. You don't want to be ranked, closer to 20 or past 20 out of, 32 teams. (48-23) Eagles. Second most for Philly all time. And again, it shows you how good, Philadelphia is. They will have a shot if it ends up being Eagles Chiefs in the Super Bowl. You best believe it. And even putting up a 48, they'll be underdogs to Kansas City more than likely. But either way, if the Chiefs are underdogs or Eagles are underdogs, I don't think either team is going to care. Three turnovers for Washington, 3 fumbles, 3 touchdowns in return. No turnovers for Philly. Kansas City doesn't turn the football over either, and that's why these teams are, more than likely going to be in the SB, Super Bowl. Second down and 2, Daniels. And again, not enough Scary Terry or De'Ami Brown, and those are the ones that usually come up with those big plays in this Washington commando run in 2024. We have seen Scary Terry pop off early in the first half, but we haven't seen De'Ami Brown with the same kind of impact that he had in the previous game and against the Buccaneers as well. Flag on the play. Just like the same play over and over and over again to Zach Ertz on the sideline. Yeah. Well, again, my predictions usually, come true. Just saying, look at my track record, every single year. I rarely get, the NBA champion wrong, the MLB champion wrong. As far as NHL, I don't, follow that as heavy. So I'm not going to be able to predict that one all the time because I don't follow it the same kind of way. But as far as basketball, baseball, football, natties, I got that shit on lock. You already know it's going to be this. If I say it's going to be this, you know it's going to be that. You're not going to have a team that doesn't have a defense make it to the Super Bowl. And the Bills will be much closer than 48-23. Yeah, but if the Bills can improve the offensive line, the defense, and be number 1 seed, and then it goes through Buffalo, that might be the time that they do it, but I just don't see it today. It's possible, but again, that's what they said about the Commanders possibly winning today. Last time I checked, it's 48-23. Not so fast. If you don't got a defense, you ain't going to advance, period. Sidearm, incomplete. I mean, who else on YouTube or on TV or podcast? I mean, you tell me who's more right than me. You know, a lot of people are not willing to put in the time and the effort and the energy to read and watch film. And, you know, again, I don't go to anybody else's content and just take their opinion. Everything is just me. So, and I'm not going to be 100%, but again, I feel like I'm about 90% when it comes to championship games or championship rounds. But every once in a while, you'll have history being made and a magic, crazy thing that happens. But I don't see any crazy shit happening today. I mean, I think I've gotten like 1 Super Bowl wrong in like 20 years. 20, 25 years, so... Daniels on 3rd down and 6. Wide open. First down. Zach Ertz, move the chains. Yeah, that's definitely the weakest piece on the team overall. 100%. But the thing is the Bills don't have the same kind of defense as you. If they did, you'd be fucked. But they don't, you know. And again, like if the Bills had the Eagle defense, yeah, you probably would be cooked today. You know, it would be very close. But again, you know, one team has an offense and a defense, the Chiefs, and they're at home, right? And the other team has got an amazing offense, but the defense, they don't really have one. And again, you know, you can outscore teams up to a point, but there's going to be a moment where you're going to play someone, look them in the eyes, and be like, fuck, you know, we're a little outmatched here. So, and the only way to be able to counter that, you know, home field advantage is you being at home, Buffalo, you know. And again, we're going to have to wait for, you know, the big 5 to break up. Andy Reid, Spags, Chris Jones, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes. And once that big 5 gets broken up, then maybe we're going to see the Bills or, you know, some other team. But until that happens, it's Kansas City's world, and we're just living in it. Same thing with Philly. Yeah, and don't be you know, shocked if you end up getting down early. 10-0, 13-0, 14-0, that doesn't mean that you're going to lose. You know, if anyone knows how to come back from being down by 10 or more, it's fucking Kansas City. So they're best at making adjustments when it matters the most. Daniels intercepted. Quinyon Mitchell, another turnover. My goodness. Jaden. 3 fumbles, all lost, touchdown scored. And then not Cooper DeJean, but Quinyon Mitchell with the pick, baby. Again, that's why Philly is so good, man. It shows you how important it is to be able to draft well and on a consistent basis. Philly. About to put up a 50 burger. Fucking A, man. That was amazing. Nice job by Quinyon Mitchell. Stud. First pick in the NFC Championship game. Yes, please. Or second. Yeah, second in the playoffs. Chief with a 3-year. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. We're at 30, 70 to go. Lenny D in the building. What's good? Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah, well, the thing is the reason that they start slow and they don't start fast is because Patrick Mahomes isn't the same type of quarterback that he was in years past. The offensive line isn't very good. Overall, I mean, obviously they have some pieces, but again, Mahomes isn't really the same type of player, as he was in years past. There's going to be times where he struggles a little bit. You still got, Pacheco and Hunt and, DeAndre Hopkins and Xavier Worthy. And, you got some pieces. He's getting loose. Shipley trying to score a tutty. My God, this is getting ugly. But it is what it is. The offense doesn't flow the same way as like Philadelphia's, but again, they can find a way to win, based off head coaching, O-line, D-line, defense coaching, play calling. The defense is pretty much, that's been the key point for Kansas City. And then the offense just has to be good on third down, right? Get first downs. Don't turn over the football. Even if Mahomes has to be a game manager and an elite one at that, and just don't fuck up. And, even if that means you only win by 3, a win is a win. So. And the reason that the Eagle offense moves so much smoother than the Chiefs is because the offensive line is better. Just plain and simple. I mean, do you think if the Chiefs had the Eagles offensive line, they wouldn't be able to do the same fucking thing? Mahomes would, look like the Mahomes from a fucking couple years ago, more than likely. Kelsey would look better. Pacheco and Hunt would look better. Hopkins and Worthy would look better. They would have a lot more that they could do in their playbook, instead of having to worry about that right side with fucking Taylor. I need this game to end because I need to prep for the next one. On the CBS broadcast, what is it saying? Are they going to start at 3:30 or are they going to start it a little bit later? I mean, I just need them to bleed this fucking clock out. Well, absolutely, you can run the ball because they don't got a fucking defense. But again, in the Super Bowl, it's a different story, especially if we get Chiefs-Eagles, because both defenses are going to be very stout, and you're not going to see Saquon Barkley run for fucking 3 tutties in the Super Bowl. And if he does, then the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. Plain and simple. But I highly doubt you would get 3 tutties out of Saquon against the Chiefs. I don't think that would happen. Fucking A, Shipley, touchdown. Eagles, Jesus. They're pouring it on. Because I need to make sure this game ends so that way I can, do the tag words and prep the next stream. It doesn't take me that long, probably just a couple of minutes, but I mean, I don't want to miss any action from the beginning of the next game, so. Extra point is up and good. 55-23 Eagles. Now it seems kind of silly for all the people that thought the Commanders were going to win. But like I said, if you either listen, to people that know, or you can just go to the team that you just don't like and go for the other team. But, at some point or another, again, Commanders had a great year this year, but they're not on the same league as the Philadelphia Eagles. Not even close. Will Shipley, first touchdown in his career. Now it's just getting embarrassing here. Anything you want to be able to see cheap photo-wise? I got a few cheap photos already ready. Mahomes, Diop, Xavier Worthing, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, Trent McDuff, Harrison Butker, and the reason why they're going to beat the Bills, this guy. You'll get one. On the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. I mean, really the only way that, Chiefs start off like really, really fast if you're going against a dog shit team. But, I would not be shocked if they get down early. But again, if there's any team that can come back from being down by 10 or more, it's Philadelphia and Kansas City, but primarily Kansas City. 7 rushing touchdowns today, tied for the most all time. Not surprised. And again, they'll try to do that same type of method against the Chiefs or the Bills in the Super Bowl. They're gonna, and again, that's the smart way to go about it. If you got the number 1 running back in the league, you fucking use them. You don't got. It's not like the Seahawks when they had Marshawn Lynch. You fucking use them. You don't fucking throw the ball with Russ. At the end to try to win. You use the best player at that position, and you make sure that that is a weapon that people recognize. You got a top dog, you use the top dog. You don't have a top dog as a fucking decoy. Saquon's the best running back in the NFL, even better than Derrick Henry. Use them. And they have been rewarded. But again, if the offensive line stunk with Philly, we wouldn't be here today. So again, the offensive line, defensive line is a big reason why the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. Facts. 2-minute warning. 55-23 Eagles. But what's the CBS broadcast looking like? Are we still going to be starting at 3:30? Do I need to stop this stream now? And then that way I can start prepping for the next one? Or are they going to kick off at like 3:35, 3:40, and I'm going to have time? You guys let me know for the people that are watching on CBS. Captain in the building. What's good? Kubiak, huh? What's good, Captain? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure if Reflect Now in the building. What's good? I'm not sure if that's the right hire, but I guess we'll just wait and see. I don't think that's the correct hire if it's me personally, but again, we'll see. I mean, are you guys happy with what the Saints did offensively? And the answer is fuck no. So, again, you had Shane Waldron and he was terrible, but Reflect with a 5. Oh man, he said, I hate this. What are they doing? And they're trying to say, oh, that was their number 1 choice. Shit, that's not. He would have been better off getting Slowick. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Thank you so much. But anyone that's watching CBS, let me know. I'm going to have to turn something else on because I don't want to. It's going to take me a couple minutes to prep the next stream and end this one. So, but we're at 35. I got to pull up this next one here. All right, I got that stream up here now too. All right, it says 15:49, so that'll be at 3:40. So it looks like I can finish this stream, and then they're not going to kick off until what, 3:40, 15 minutes from now. So that should give me enough time to prep for the next one. All right, minute 20 left, and then I should be able to get started for the next stream, and then we're going to be queuing in on the AFC Championship game, which will be the better game of the two, 100%. But again, we thought O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling, and some guy named Saquon would be the reason that they win, and that's exactly what happened, and I'm very interested to see what happens in this next matchup. And then for the people that donated, we can get some photos on the next stream, unless there's something that you specifically want to see right now. I know Reflect doesn't really care about photos and whatnot, but we can get some stuff in the next game. Most all-time in AFC NFC Championship game, Philadelphia Eagles. Congratulations to them. So far, my predictions are 100%. And again, we'll see if it ends up being 2 for 2 today in the next matchup. Now they got Kenny Pickett in there, kneeling it down. I think with the way that me and Reflect, look at, things compared to a lot of other people, again, it all depends on if you're familiar, with these other coaches, coordinators, and like how they rank and what they do and what they don't do. If you don't know anything besides, where they last came from, you can be optimistic and hope it works out. But again, some of us have a deeper knowledge of coaches and scheme and play calling and, who's good and who's not. And, you might, be a guy that, maybe not the most successful in Nolans and might be able to turn it around, for Seattle. And that might have been one of the top guys that, McDonald wanted. But one question I would ask if I was a Hawk fan, final score 55-23 Eagles. Did you really enjoy what the Saints offense looked like? And if the answer is no, then, the rest is, easy for you to interpret. All right, so the game is over, 55-23. I'm going to end this stream, and I got to fucking hurry to get the next one done. And I'll be live here in just a couple minutes. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Final score, Eagles 55, Commanders 23, and the Eagles are going to the fucking Super Bowl. And I'll be live here in just a couple minutes for the next stream. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. I'll be back in like 5 minutes, and I'm out. Okay.